Merry Christmas, everyone, and welcome to a special episode of the Global Gaming Podcast, where we have Sharky, we have DolphinVi, and we have the amazing Papa G, and we are here to talk about some stuff and enjoy Christmas. Technically, it's not Christmas for me and Sharky, but it is for DolphinVi, and it will be Christmas by the time you guys hear this.
Nah, it'll be up on Christmas Eve.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it will be Christmas. So, Merry Christmas, everyone. Hope you're having a good time. And and if you're not having a good time, then what are you doing listening to this podcast? Go out there and have a good time. Anyway, today, since it's the times of season, it's the season of
Giving.
being nice and giving and whatnot. We're going to talk about some good aspects of bad games. And so, who wants to go first? Should I go first, or do you want to go first?
Alright, I guess I'll really go first. Final Fantasy X-2. It has good costumes.
And what do you...
And that's about all I can say about it.
Do you really hate everything about that game?
Yes.
Not even the combat system?
No, not even that.
Okay.
I mean,
The one thing I liked about Final Fantasy X was X-2 was the last 30-second cutscene or so, where you get actual closure to the ending in Final Fantasy X.
That's cool.
Yes, there is that.
Do you hate
two good things about it? There, don't make me say any more, Papa G. You're asking too much.
So, Sharky, do you hate X too?
Oh yeah. X-2 wasn't even made by the same developers. Because that's when everybody quit.
Seems to be a very divided game, X-2. I've never actually played X-2, so I have no comment on it. So maybe I will one day, and maybe I'll get to comment on it.
Make sure you play 10 before it, because otherwise you won't take things into context properly.
Of course. I played most of 10. I just haven't actually finished 10. Just because I got stuck on a really bad boss fight and I just forgot to get back to it. So
which boss fight was that?
I think it was when it was in the Cold Mountains and Seymour became a fiend or whatnot,
That's either a really easy or really hard fight depending on which way you go about it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I remember it being really frustrating, and annoying, and I remember planning on okay, I'm gonna look into this and figure out how to beat it, but I never got back to it just because I forgot. And so what I'll probably end up doing is probably replaying the game and really figuring stuff out.
Yeah. I'd say Seymour was a high point and probably a bit of a low point of Final Fantasy X.
Yeah.
Low point because he was a bad boss fight.
You fight him 4 times.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, by the final time you fight him, even the main characters are sick of him. He shows up and they're like, "Oh, come on, you again." It's like, dude, just die already.
Yeah, that last time really made no sense.
Yeah, even the main characters are sick of him at this point.
By the way, speaking of the hard boss fight there, should we tell Papa G the easy way to beat that boss?
Yes, please tell me.
If I'm right, he does the zombie thing, doesn't he? Isn't he affected by zombie?
We're talking about when we're up on the mountain, the snowy mountain, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think he's affected by zombie, and if he is, then you can just throw Phoenix down on him and he dies.
Phoenix down on him?
Yeah, if he's affected by a zombie. Anything affected by a zombie, if you just throw a Phoenix down on it, it brings him back to life, which kills him.
Like the second time you fight that dragon underwater. That was a rip-off boss fight.
No.
Yeah.
Okay, so hopefully I'll be able to beat him again. I'll replay Final Fantasy X soon and hopefully be able to beat it that time.
At least I'm pretty sure that one's affected by a zombie. I'm not 100%. Do you remember?
I don't think I ever used zombie on him, to be honest.
No, I think he's already got zombie by default.
So what would you do DolphinVi, if you met someone who genuinely liked 10-2?
I would not say anything.
You wouldn't argue or debate them?
No, I'd be trying to get away from them.
What if I what if I end up liking 10 too?
Goodbye.
No,
Honestly,
look, you're mentally handicapped already, Papa G. I accept you.
I'll just be voted out of the pod. I'll be voted out of the podcast. I'll be like, that'll be what gets me out of. That would get me X'd out from the podcast. Me liking 10 too.
Look, you like The Last Jedi, and I still forgave you. I'm not that bad.
I guess so.
Do you like Superman the game?
You mean Superman 64?
Yeah, that's the one.
I've never played it, so I don't know.
What E.T.?
Never played E.T. either.
I have. It's bad.
Say something nice about E.T. and Superman 64. Go. I can't make a comment because I haven't played it, so.
I haven't played either one of them either. I've
E.T.
seen the game.
has the same music.
Okay, that's somewhat good. It's made by John Williams. He's a pretty good music guy.
I mean, it sounds like it's coming out of an Atari 2600, but what can you do?
It's too much. If I understand, I think what was it called? E.T. the game. I think it was rushed to some degree.
It was.
And even the developers, weren't a big fan of it. Anyway, let me think. I guess it's my turn now to bring up a game that I hate, but something I like about it. I guess you can say about this particular. I would say David Cage games as a whole, but you can really only bring this up with Heavy Rain and Detroit Become Human. I haven't played the Omicron Nomad Soul, so I don't know about that. But even though David Cage games are mostly pretty poorly written, it is kind of fun to play around and see what would have happened when he made different choices.
As long as different things actually do happen.
Yeah. And Heavy Rain and happens a little bit in Heavy Rain and happens a decent amount in Detroit Become Human. Beyond Two Souls is really awful. You can literally put your controller down. There are certain points in the game where you can literally put your controller down and the game will somehow find a way for you to win anyway.
Okay, here's a... I looked up someone with Seymour the third time you fight him. You can poison him and you can silence him as well.
Cool.
That should help.
So he doesn't have zombie on him by default?
No.
Okay.
No, the dragon has zombie on it by default, which was a... I don't know why they did that.
That's probably because that dragon was very hard to beat.
Yeah, first time it was. Second time it's like throw one Phoenix down at him and it dies.
Well, the secret is that I've learned that makes you OP in a lot of the really hard fights, and by the really hard fights I mean like the underwater fights.
Yeah.
Is take either Wako or Riku and make sure at least one of them knows black magic.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Because a lot of those fights, they're really immune to magic, and Titus isn't a spellcaster. Normally, Waka isn't, and Riku isn't. So, like, they're kind of screwed at that point. That's what makes those fights so hard. But if you specifically manipulate the spear grid to get them black magic, at least one of them, the fights become way easier.
All right.
I'll keep that in mind, and I'll probably need to ask you for reminders. I'm gonna forget about this, but thank you for the advice.
Yep.
So Sharky, so I said mine. Dolphins. Well, I said one. Do you have a game that you dislike, but there's one thing about it you like?
Trying to think of a game I dislike. Hearthstone.
Okay.
The thing I like about it is when you're not going against somebody who's pay to win, you the game can actually be fun.
Okay. That's sounds good. Okay, now it's your turn, V.
Okay, it was Shadow of the Tomb Raider. Well, let's see what can I look for that one. I guess they have added to the stealth combat somewhat. That's something.
Also, slight correction on the video you made. The game was actually not made by Crystal Dynamics. It was actually made by Eidos Montreal.
Crystal Dynamics are listed as one of the developers, though.
Okay, so
No, you
never
can check
mind.
the Steam page. They are.
Okay, I was wrong. Sorry, I thought it was just Eidos Montreal that was involved. I guess both Eidos and...
But they were involved. They just weren't the only one. It was Crystal Dynamics as well.
Okay, I gotcha. I thought it was just Eidos Montreal, but I was wrong.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's like even if it was just Eidos Montreal, it wouldn't make the criticisms any less valid.
No, I know, but I would just
Yeah.
I would just make a correction.
Yeah. The game is still a butt trumpet out of 10. I'm keeping that one.
But trumpet at the 10, I forgot that. If you were to give it a quote-unquote real rating, what would you give it?
Well, I don't know. I think ratings that are out of 10, I don't think they're very helpful, really.
Fair enough.
I mean, what does a 6 out of 10 or a 7 out of 10 mean, or an 8 out of 10? That's incredibly average.
Well, to me,
or maybe an 8 out of 10 could be good. I mean, you don't know. It depends on the reviewer. So I try not to stay away from numbers now.
I guess so. To me, a 6 out of 10 means it's a little bit above average, but it's not super good. 7 out of 10 means good. 8 great. Like, I don't know. I've thought a lot about what 1 through 10 means to me, but that's just me. I realize everyone has something different.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess now it's my turn again.
Yep.
Hey, what was my other one? Something nice. All these are
Beyond
so bad.
Two Souls.
I already mentioned Beyond Two Souls, and Beyond Two Souls I can't do that because there's nothing good to say. Well, actually, there's one good thing I could say about Beyond Two Souls. The acting from Ellen Page and Willem Dafoe is pretty good. Everyone else ranges from mediocre to bad.
Mm-hmm.
And the game overall is just shit. Beyond Two Souls is really awful. Would not recommend it. God, I hate Beyond Two Souls. It really is David Cage at his worst. And David Cage isn't really good at all. Have you ever played a David Cage game, Sharky?
No, I haven't.
You're lucky then.
Well, here's the thing. You don't play David Cage games, you watch David Cage games.
With occasional input here and there.
I've seen somebody make an argument for what is the latest David Cage game?
Detroit Become Human.
Yeah, I've seen arguments for that one being good, but it's not a good game. It's a good adventure.
And kinda, it still has some. It still has some David Cage problems, which I won't get into right now. But it's definitely one of his better games. I wouldn't say it's fantastic, but one of his better ones. It still has some schlocky moments in there, like there's determinants. This thing can happen. Whether this happens or not depends on your choices. But one thing that can happen is the day can be saved literally through song. It's just kind of fucking stupid.
Yeah.
Well, after how serious Heavy Rain was, he probably wanted to make it a bit more lighthearted.
Well, the game's still equally serious, if not more serious. But it's like, I don't know. I guess I'm gonna spoil it just to give context. It's like it was during the Android protest. During the last stand, one option you have to do is what was it? It was to kiss your girlfriend robot, to sacrifice yourself, to do something else, and one of them options was to sing. I guess it was to show that they're human, I guess, but it's still freaking silly.
Mm-hmm.
This is the best. So yeah, if you ever play a David Cage game or watch a David Cage game, whatever. If you ever come across David Cage's work, this David Cage has been look up David Cage Bingo, and it's a really fun game. I'm gonna read off some of the items on David Cage Bingo. Almost raped, stilted dialogue. Remember this set/prop from the last game. Dance party, a metric ton of hype, misleading demo, unfeasibly large apartments, pointless flashbacks, awkward sex, slap fight, white knighting, Asian conspiracy, but the police don't work that way. Creepy headshots, daddy issues, hanging around in lingerie, noble homeless people. Your choice didn't matter. Lying to the player. Distilled forces out of nowhere. Creepy shower scene. Asshole army guys. Scene stolen from a movie. Strong, powerful woman saved by a man. And the free space is just QTEs.
Mm-hmm.
David Cage games have a lot of this shit.
Yeah.
No, I would think Heavy Rain doesn't really have the strong woman saved by a man.
Oh, totally has that, or can have that. Like, if you make certain choices, what's her
Remember the
fucking
Dr.
name?
Death scene? She saves
Yes,
herself.
but Madison can get saved by Ethan or what's his name, Norman, if like you do the right choices at the very end. Don't you remember that? That's a strong, powerful woman saved by a man.
Or she can save herself.
Yes, but like, can happen.
Yeah, it's not required.
Almost raped, but oh yeah, that definitely happens in Heavy Rain, right?
I would say dissected rather than raped, but okay.
Let me think. What is?
In fact, you can avoid that scene altogether if you do it the right way.
My favorite one is on the David Cage. To be fair, there's a couple of David Cage bingos and whatnot, but like this one, I just chose a random one out of a bunch of others. My favorite one is, but the police don't work that way. That happens a lot in David Cage games. Is you verbally saying the police don't work that way.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And it's funny how much dance parties come up in David Cage games. However, surprisingly, there wasn't a dance party in Detroit Become Human. I was really surprised about that. I was like totally expecting there to be a dance party. I was totally expecting there to be a creepy shower scene, but there wasn't any.
Yeah. So is it my turn to name again?
Yeah, sorry. I just like hating on. I don't know. For some reason I like picking on David Cage. I think somewhat because he's a bit pretentious.
This is a good game to hate on,
Okay.
and it's Fallout 76.
Oh. Oh.
And the one good positive thing I have to say is at least they gave you the bags eventually that they promised.
I mean, I guess that really has nothing to do with the game itself.
Okay, so let's see.
Well, it's pre-order stuff. I mean, it's part of the game that you bought.
I guess, but like only people who were stupid enough to buy the Super Special Awesome Edition got it.
Yeah, the Super Special Awesome Edition.
Well, let's see. What could I possibly say about that? The trailer was good.
Has a pretty decent song in the trailer.
Yeah, and it looks really good backwards as well. I tried that one.
I'm really trying to. Yeah, I can't really think of much good in Fallout 76. I guess you can kind of play with your friends. I guess that automatically makes anything better.
Yeah, although you get banned the moment you call someone gay online.
No, it's not that. You start getting banned when you start trying to purge the gays.
Yeah. That was just blatant trolling. You know, we're here to purge the gays. Oh, are you gay? Bang, bang. Yeah, we need to get rid of all the gays. And it was obviously trolling, and they banned them for it.
It's just immature, joking trolling. I've seen people say a lot worse shit on over multiplayer games. I've seen people threatening to rape, kill, a whole bunch of other shit on whole lot of other bannable offenses, but like that wasn't worth getting banned over.
Yeah.
But that's probably the least bad thing Fallout 76 did.
Yeah. I mean, I've had someone shout at me in Paladins for being too good a sniper, so yeah, it's hardly the worst thing that's happened.
Let me think now. What else is? Oh yeah. Now I guess it means it's your. This means it's your turn again, DolphinVi. So what's another bad game?
Do we start the list? We took twice. What would be a game? I suppose while PUBG looks over the list, there'd be Final Fantasy 13.
Okay.
Well, what's there with that game?
Didn't you say you liked Final Fantasy 13 at one point?
Well, the way I view Final Fantasy 13, and I was probably gonna put this in a review of it, was well, it's like ordering pizza. You open the pizza box and it's full of tacos.
Okay.
It's like, okay, the tacos are okay, but it's not what I wanted. I don't think the game would have been judged as harshly as it was had it not had the Final Fantasy label on it.
Okay, fair enough.
Also, I guess the graphics are actually pretty good. I mean, the story, once you make sense of it, is actually quite compelling. Even though it ends in the ending is pretty bad.
Even though there's only one actual plot twist in the whole thing.
Yeah. And they don't really explain the story too well in the beginning.
To be fair, our story doesn't need a plot twist in order to be good, but it does certainly help.
It does in a Final Fantasy story.
Okay.
Yeah.
A Final Fantasy story without a plot twist is not a Final Fantasy story.
Fair enough.
That's like Jello without Jello.
It's like pizza without the cheese. I think that'd be a better analogy.
I don't even know about that. It's like pizza without the cheese, sauce, or bread.
No, it's
It's
like
just
pizza
toppings.
by EA. It's like, here's the base of the pizza. Where's the sauce? Where's the cheese? Where's the pepperoni? Oh, you need to pay extra for that.
What now? Let me see. Now I guess it's my turn. I'm wondering if I should use this as an example because I don't know if I hate this game or like this game. But I guess there are some good elements of the Phantom Pain. Like some of the gameplay is good and whatnot, and a lot of things in it are well put together. But like, I don't know. Again, I can never decide if I think it's actually a good game or not. Because like I don't know, the story's kind of boring, it feels non-existent and whatnot. I don't know. Maybe I should think of a better example.
Well, what's something good you can say about Phantom Pain?
Has really good voice acting in it, definitely, and I like sort of the basis it has. Like the Fox engine is pretty good engine, and like stealthing through places and whatnot is kind of fun. The game feels kind of too repetitive and whatnot. I do like the idea and some of the themes that it's trying to go for. I just don't feel like some of the themes are very well explored.
I think, to be fair, the game wasn't really finished.
That's true. Back to you, Sharky.
The only one I can think of is probably a really controversial one.
Okay, go
Because
ahead.
I know a lot of people really love this game.
What is it?
Halo.
Oh, really? I did not see that coming. Why do you hate Halo?
Because it's just the same mechanics. You move and you shoot that has been repeated since Doom. Like the only thing I can really find original in that is like the setting and how they did the whole sci-fi and everything, and that's cool. But like that's just like wallpaper on top of a desktop kind of thing. Like it's still a desktop. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You just changing the wallpaper on top of it.
What about Halo 2 or 3? Do you care about those games at all?
No, it's the same thing for me.
Okay, fair enough.
But the one positive thing I gotta say is that they have really unique characters that do have some kind of character to them.
Fair enough.
Mhm.
The soundtrack is pretty great. That's definitely one thing about it.
I haven't really heard much of the soundtrack,
I've heard parts of it. It's really good.
and also like I'm not really into most gaming soundtracks or even anime soundtracks. Like there's very few of them that I actually like.
You don't like?
Because
Oh, you're saying there's very few soundtracks you like?
yeah, because like none of them fit my personal kind. Well, very few of them fit my personal likes in music, which
Fair
is
enough.
metal.
I understand. I know I can relate to that.
So yeah, I really don't like most soundtracks. So I haven't heard Halos. Like the thing is like I'll like the soundtrack while I'm playing the game, kind of thing.
Yeah.
But like outside the game, it's like I don't want to listen to that.
Fair enough.
Same thing goes with anime. Like, but there is some anime songs and some game songs that's like I could really dig that outside of the game, kind of thing. But most of them, no.
Yeah, fair enough. Anyway.
Okay, do you
Do you
still
have
have
any
your
other?
list, Papa G? Remember, we
Um,
made a list of terrible games to talk about.
I think I might have one more, but do you have any other more?
Yeah, I can already think on right now. One I played recently, Duke Nukem Forever.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ugh.
What's a positive thing about that game?
Well, it has a Colt 1911 gun in it,
Why is that good?
because that's a good gun.
Okay.
I mean, Colt.
Um,
What's there to hate about that? That's that the game is. Oh, oh god, where to start? I mean, it's almost like a feminist made this game to as a parody of what they consider toxic masculinity.
I don't know, honestly, Duke Nukem Forever looks bad. Looks bad even for the time it was made. And in my opinion, I think it was the seventh generation of consoles.
Mhm.
That era had a lot of games that I thought looked really bad.
Mm.
Like, it's funny.
The game literally starts with you pissing in a urinal.
It's funny. In my opinion, like the seventh generation of consoles looks worse than the sixth generations of consoles, and that's mostly for subjective reasons and stuff. Like to me, like there's a certain charm to the PlayStation 3, or at least early on. Later on, it got a little better, but during the PlayStation 2 era and whatnot, it's like those graphics had a bit of a charm to them, and I don't know, there's something pleasing to me. But like, in during the seventh gen, it's just the graphics looked not quite there yet, but like not quite good either. It just I don't know. Not all of them were obviously like that, but a lot of them were.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like quality of games like on consoles went down drastically during those years.
That's fair.
Yeah, that one certainly did.
Because like PlayStation 2, PlayStation 1 had like amazing games.
Yeah.
And like it's like I could go and buy a ton of them and just keep on buying them because there's so many good ones. But then when you go look at PlayStation 3, it's like there's a few games I might want to own, but that's about it.
Mm-hmm.
Fair enough. I'm not getting too much into that because I don't want to. Well, like I don't know. I'm not feeling like a PC elitist today. Maybe I'll feel like that later. So I don't know.
It's Christmas. You can feel like a PC elitist if you really want to.
You have the gift of feeling like a PC elitist.
Anyway, do you have any
I mean,
more?
come on. You got Kingdom Come Deliverance, Papa G. You can feel that gift.
Yeah, but that game's also available on console, so
Are you gonna buy it on console?
I wasn't planning on it. No.
Then you can be a PC elitist.
Okay. Fair enough. I'm sure there are some good things during the 7th gen, but like, I don't know. PC is best and always will be the best.
Mm-hmm. And I believe there was one for you, Papa G.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I think there was one more, but what was the last one? What was the last one? Okay, turns out I didn't have last one, so,
Or do you not
oops.
have your list?
I thought I had, like, one other one, but it was crossed out. Then when I answer is no.
Speaking of lists, like I feel like you two had an unfair advantage because I had to think of them off the top of my head.
I mean, we kind of do, I guess, but, like, I was under the impression that, DolphinVi told you ahead of time, so blame him, not me.
Yeah, sure, blame me.
Hashtag blame DolphinVi.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course, always blame the dolphin. It's always the dolphin's fault.
I mean, you were the one that contacted him, so...
Well, he contacted me, what was it, yesterday or something? Yeah, it was yesterday. And I said I couldn't make it because of, the situation that was going on during the time. And then he contacted me again today, and y'all had delayed it or something, and I was like, yeah, I can make it now because that situation is good, chilled.
Fair enough. Now let me think. What else do we have to talk about?
Fahrenheit
are you
Indigo
planning-
Prophecy, then Papa G.
Oh yeah, that's right. Indigo. That was the last one I was thinking of, I guess. Well, I kind of included David Cage games as a whole, but I guess I could talk about that one. Indigo Prophecy kind of has an interesting beginning. That's about it. Everything else is kind of bad and dated. Like most of the voice acting is bad.
It was the game that really jumped Sharky.
Yeah. Indigo Prophecy, to me, will always be the textbook example of jumping the shark. Though, to be fair, it wasn't really that good beforehand. Like, half the game is, like, kind of boring and just not interesting. But then once you get, like, to the 50% mark, the game just completely jumps the shark, and it's, like, keeps on tumbling down and down and down. It just gets more hilarious.
Yeah, I don't like people jumping me.
Fair enough. That makes sense.
You don't ever hear them say they jumped the dolphin. Nobody's jumping the dolphin. They're always jumping the shark.
Maybe we can start that. Maybe we'll try to say jumping the dolphin instead of jumping the shark.
Like I say, jumping the Papa G.
Yeah, they could do that too.
Jumping the bladder. Hey, come on, don't blame me for the jumping the shark thing. Blame Happy Days. That was the show that did it first.
Yeah.
I think I even showed that clip in the actual video I did.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it was one of the main characters jumped over a shark and everyone hated it because it contradicted previous character development.
Fair enough. Anyway, what are you guys planning to do this Christmas? I mean, technically we're doing this right now, but like, do you have any other plans?
For me, it's going to be a very low-budget Christmas.
Fair enough.
For me, it's going to be, I'm just going to spend time, go over my parents and spend some time over there and eat some dinner or lunch, depending on what my mom decides to make it, dinner or lunch.
Fair enough. I'm probably thinking of doing something similar. I'm planning on spending some time with my extended family, eating dinner and whatnot, and it's gonna be nice. I really love Christmas. It's just a nice time of year in general. Really nice. While I have you, Sharky, I'm wondering if I should say this on the podcast. Yeah, I think I can. I'm not gonna say who.
If it's that bad.
I'm not gonna say who the YouTuber is because, like, I don't want him coming after me or anything. But there's this YouTuber who is either a grade A troll or one of the most pretentious people I've ever met in my entire life. He said things like a game. There has never actually been a game really that existed, only simulations and whatnot, and that all movies are non-stories. A whole lot of pretentious other shit. And just the more and more you delve into it, the more and more stupid he seems. Yet he acts so cocky and arrogant and so full of himself. Like apparently he's working on a 6-hour seminar that once it's released, everyone will love it and it will change the gaming industry. And like he's gonna like be he's gonna be the first to make real games, and he's gonna like make these. He's gonna ruin jobs. He's just God. He's gonna be God apparently, and we're all just simpletons, I guess.
So he's saying that video games aren't actually games.
Pretty much, yeah.
Does he know what a board game is?
Well, he doesn't think those are games either. According to him, at least from what I could gather in between his incoherent ramblings, is he doesn't consider games he doesn't consider something a game if it excludes someone based on physical or memorization or certain abilities that would exclude others. Even though the definition of the game is being skilled at certain things.
Mm-hmm. That excludes most games, then.
Yeah, pretty much.
That includes every game that is a game, pretty much.
Yeah, I don't know what. Maybe when his 6-hour-long seminar comes out, it'll all make sense, and I'll realize that I'm a simpleton. But I don't know. I kind of have my doubts. What about you guys?
I mean that sounds like a certain somebody that I won't name that went around saying that she played video games when she, and she knew all about them, but she didn't know anything about them, and she just wanted to put her agenda into things.
Yeah, I remember that one.
It's like, I guess, but it's like what happens to him is he'll say bits and pieces of his philosophy before saying you'll have to wait for the 6-hour seminar for the rest of it. Because he keeps on jerking off to the 6-hour seminar that he's apparently been working on for years, and he's like, oh, when I release this, it's going to be so amazing, so perfect, and if even one person doesn't like it, then I will have failed and whatnot, and just...
He'll have failed then, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can see that being...
Yeah, the whole audience that constantly, like, circle jerks him, and it's like, oh, man, this guy's awesome, he's God, or whatnot.
Yeah, I have no idea who you're referring to. You two obviously know who it is. I have no idea who you're referring to, but like, this video that you're talking about or whatever it is, sound like it's if it is a video like on YouTube, is that what it's going to be?
Like he's already made a bunch of dumbass videos. Like there is no such thing as genres, or a video game has never existed or whatnot. And apparently, like he's gonna go in even more depth in a 6-hour-long seminar, which is coming out apparently within the next 2 months, and he's apparently been working on it for years and years.
So I think this is a opportune chance for him to take the title away from YouTube being the most disliked video on YouTube.
Maybe. Maybe I'll link you some of his videos.
I'm not sure it'll be the most disliked video on YouTube. I mean, that's some pretty tough competition there.
I'll have to send you some of his videos just so you can see how silly they are.
Yeah.
But also, this is the funniest bit. I've been holding out on the funniest bit that I recently discovered.
Mm-hmm.
Like, apparently he said in one comment that he doesn't like Mahler or something, and I asked him why, and he said he critiques things that aren't. He praises things that are real when he should be praising things that aren't real or whatnot. And I'm like, I responded to him by saying, okay, so does that mean you shouldn't be talking about unicorns or something? And he said to me, unicorns do exist. And I'm like, what? And like he responded by saying,
I miss them?
And he responded by saying unicorns are mentioned 5 times in the Bible. So I'm like, this guy is either really crazy, really pretentious, and really out there, or he is the greatest troll ever.
I'm pretty sure unicorns are not mentioned in the Bible.
Well, I don't know. It's been a while since I've combed over the Bible, so it could.
And if they are, I'm pretty sure it's mentioned in a way that they're not actually animals or something like that. Or
Well, the thing is, like, I wonder if I'm being trolled. If he really is this troll that's just like fucking with me and other people, or if he really believes it. And the sad thing is, it could be either or, because I met some really fucking crazy people
Okay,
on the
I've
internet.
looked that up because I almost have to know this. Okay, the biblical unicorn was a real animal, but it refers to a unicorn in the context of familiar animals like peacocks, lambs, lions, goats, donkeys, horses, and all that other stuff.
I might as well say his YouTube channel name. What is the harm gonna do? His name is Ponsteri Games. Let me also read his channel description, because I think his channel description was also funny.
so unicorns, in the sense that we know unicorns, did not exist in the Bible.
No.
Okay, here is a really funny
But
description.
unicorn meant other things.
He said, "This is my resume, a catalog of my game design philosophy for the purposes of educating the common gamer and, more important, educating my employees. I will rule the video game industry in due time. I orchestrate MIDI mock-ups. If you're working on a movie or video game project, then I'd be interested in composing the soundtrack. I've also been hired to critique screenplays and short stories a few times. If you're interested in receiving advice on how to improve your stories, I'd be happy to." I thought it okay, wasn't as funny as I thought it would be.
It makes a lot of sense that he said common gamer in there, because basically I think what he's implying in there is the people who are sheeps.
Yeah, like he pretty much considers everyone to be like a sheep and
Yeah.
whatnot, like who plays, enjoys like games. It's like, I don't know, like
Yeah.
here's the saying,
It's
like I may
Catherine,
not.
everyone is a sheep except me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Ever
sheep
played
are
that creepy game?
I haven't played it.
I played Catherine. It's pretty good.
It's an Alice one.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna read some of his funny tweets though. He said, like, not only is Dunkirk one of the worst Nolan movies ever, it's one of the worst movies I think ever, or whatnot. And I think like, I don't know, I don't have the tweet in front of me, but he said something like Dunkirk was the worst movies ever. And he said, "I'm sorry you had experienced it, and I'm sorry you pretended to like it." I guess I pretended to like Dunkirk.
I'm not familiar with it.
So, was there any other game you can think of that you hated, but you have to like, Papa J? I mean, come on, we made an entire list of this. You should have something.
Well, I think I mentioned all the games that I had written down. Yeah, I did. So, yeah, I'm just looking through this guy's Twitter to see if I can find anything really funny.
How about games that we didn't we liked but we also hated?
I guess so. Like, I can mention a lot of games that I love or liked, but I hated elements of.
Okay.
You wanna go
with that?
Well, my number one on that list would be XCOM 2.
No.
It is the gameplay is fun. Everything about the game itself is fun, but it's a horrible buggy mess that doesn't work, and the developers aren't interested in fixing it. And also, it benefits Take-Two, who are arguably just as bad, if not worse, than EA.
What is just as bad or as worse as EA?
Take-Two.
Oh. Yeah, Take-Two's pretty bad. I heard Top Hat Champagne considers that game peasantry, so you're on Top Hat Champagne's peasant list.
Well, I meant, like, you're a peasant. I would think you would be kind of a peasant if you would accept all the bullcrap that's in there, all the bugs and whatnot, because you're just looking past its flaws to see the good stuff that's in it. And I do not look past that stuff. It's like, yeah, that stuff is really crap, and they need to fix this dang game.
Yeah, I mean, I guess, yeah, kinda, but, like, couldn't you say you sort of do that with everything? Like, with all games, there's good and bad things, and in order for you to enjoy it, you have to say, like, I accept or understand this is bad, but it doesn't override my enjoyment or the objective quality or my love over the other stuff. So,
Well, there's a difference between overlooking the small stuff and overlooking the glaring, cow that is sitting on top of you, breaking your back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
oh,
It's like, there's a cow over there in that field. He's farting, but he's far away from me. I don't smell it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But when the cow is sitting on top of you, breaking your back, it's a completely different thing.
Fair enough. Oh, here's a tweet that didn't age well. Give it a month and people will have forgotten The Last Jedi even existed. I'll remind them in my review. Yeah, that comment didn't age well. It's a year later and people are still debating about The Last Jedi. Honestly, I probably would have forgotten all about The Last Jedi if it wasn't for the fact that people keep on talking about it. Sorry, I just wanted to bring that up. I'm sorry. Your turn, DolphinVi.
Like a game I liked, but I just didn't like elements of. Well, I guess Okami would be that one.
What did you not like about it?
I'm pretty sure I know this answer.
Okay.
But it would have to be that it's way too easy to win the boss fights if you know what you're doing.
Fair enough. Well, you kind of say, in my opinion, you can kind of say that about all the boss fights.
This is a bit ridiculous. You see, there are these items in the game. You can buy them from any merchant for pretty much pennies. Okay. They're called exorcism slips. You can use one and they damage all enemies nearby, including bosses. So what you can do, you reveal the boss's weak spot and then you just spam exorcism slips. And they'll die. I mean, I beat the final boss in like less than 3 minutes. Just doing that.
Speedrun.
That does sound pretty
it turns the final boss into a joke.
Trying to think, what is a game? I already mentioned Metal Gear Solid 5, so I can't use that one.
So it sounds like Breath of the Wild, where you speed run that. This is the ultimate powerful boss you couldn't beat when you're at your full power. Yet I kicked its butt.
Yeah. Something you have a love-hate relationship with.
I'm trying to think, what is the game that Let me think through my games that I have.
What about Knights of the Old Republic? Did you not like aspects of that?
I guess it's Knights of the Old Republic too. I think I really love it. And story-wise, it's one of the best Star Wars games ever, and it has really good gameplay and whatnot. But even with the restored content mod, it feels like it hasn't entirely reached its potential. You know what I mean?
Query. What do you mean by that, meatbag?
So, it's hard to explain it right well, I guess some of it could be like, I feel like they were planning for a sequel, and the sequel would have been better, but I also just can't help but feel like when playing through the game that, like, there was, I don't know, I'm having trouble putting it into words. I just, like, when I play the game, I can't help but feel like there was more stuff that, like, they had to rush out, or they had to do it, and if, like, I had spent a little more time, it would have been more, I don't know, I can't put it into words, it's just a feeling I get, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, the restored content mod does help out a lot with that. It's a really good game. Not, definitely not perfect. There's some things about, let me think, what is one thing about it I dislike? I guess one thing I can't help but feel like bothers me about it is, like, like, for the most part, I love it's really serious and, like, really dark tone stuff, but I feel like it could, like, some moments feel a bit heavy-handed and whatnot, but mostly it feels, like, very natural and very good. To be fair, the original writer felt some moments are a bit too heavy-handed, so, there's that. So if anyone comes at me saying, how could I insult this masterpiece of the game, then, well, if you think the writer is such a master writer, then maybe you should listen to what he has to say from time to time, shouldn't ya?
Yeah. You go on that and use the bathroom.
Okay. But yeah, Knights of the Republic 1 and 2 are both really good games. I would highly recommend playing KOTOR 2 with the restored content mod. Otherwise, it's just not as good. But yeah, they're really good Star Wars games. Would recommend.
Right.
Have you ever played KOTOR 1 and 2?
No, but I just bought them the other day.
Be sure to get the restored content mod for KOTOR 2.
All right. Because there was there's some kind of bundle sale or something that had KOTOR 1 and 2 and The Force Unleashed and Dix and like a whole bunch of other games in there. And it was like $5.
Yeah, definitely get the KOTOR 2 restored content mod. It really restores a bunch of shit that should have been in the game, but it was rushed for a Christmas release. I think there is some restored content mod for KOTOR 1, but it's not as necessary. It does have a few extra cool things here or there.
Right.
Oh yeah, I finally remembered the other game. There was one other game I just remembered that I
The one good thing.
Yeah, about good thing I could say about a
You
game I
didn't check
kind of
it twice, did you?
No, I didn't check it twice. I lied. Life is Strange. Life is Strange. I personally think is mostly kind of annoying and not super well written.
Are you
but,
serial? You don't think it's not well written?
Not personally, no. A lot of people do, and I'm glad for them that they love it and think it's good. I just personally don't. But there are some moments in there that have some good ideas. There are some moments in there that aren't particularly bad or are okay. Like, I kind of like the suicide scene. Out of context, that sounds so dark. I like the suicide scene.
I hate the game so much. The only part I like is the part where it dies.
It's not as bad as it sounds, I swear. Have you ever played or do you know of Life is Strange, Sharky?
No, I've watched a little bit of stuff on like a live stream or something. I can't remember where I've seen it, but like I've seen a little bit of it, but that's about it.
What's your impression of it?
The little bit I've seen looked a little bit intriguing, but like it was like there's not much I can do with this.
I don't know. I don't know if they actually talk that way. Like, I mean, I don't know. I know some. Like, I've been around I'm in my second year of college, so I was in high school pretty recently, and there were some annoying fucking people in high school. But even then, they didn't like talk like the people in Life is Strange and whatnot. And it's like I found that just a bit like like immersion breaking to me. Like I don't know. I don't know if they talk like that at art colleges or whatnot, but like I can tell you this: at my college, like most of the people at my college are around the same age as the people in Life is Strange, and no one talks like the way they do in Life is Strange. I don't know. Maybe they did in 2015, and I just wasn't around for it.
Yeah. The one thing I hate about Life is Strange though is, a thing I hate about a lot of games is the telltale, episodic model.
Yeah.
Why do you hate the episodic model?
Because it's there to take advantage of consumers, basically.
I'm not necessarily a fan of consumer. I'm not I'm not a fan of consumers.
Yeah, well, very glad you've admitted that, Papa G.
Just don't make any games, Papa G, and you'll be fine. Or make anything that sells things to people, you'll be fine.
No, I misspoke. I didn't mean that. What I meant to say was that I'm not necessarily a fan of the episodic release style, but like devil's advocate here. But one could argue that there is advantages to using the episodic model, as it allows them to release the game in bits and pieces while they are still working on it and whatnot.
Yeah, early access does the same thing, but it only charges you once instead of 18 times.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, as we all know, Papa G doesn't like consumers, so don't worry, Papa G. We'll put you in customer service. You'll be fine there.
Well, apparently I hate consumers now.
Yeah, we'll put you in customer service. You'll do very well there.
Yeah,
Record, I
You'll
don't
say,
hate
sorry, sir, we have to hold. Hang up the phone. Yeah, sorry, sir, we have to hold. Yeah, of course we'll get back to you. Of course I'll pass that up to the CEO, throw it in the trash. But you do very well there.
you got to have them hold like at least 10, 15 times. Make sure they're really invested into the phone call and let them be on the line for an hour before you hang up on them.
To be fair though, like most of the time you only have to pay it like 5 times, and each time's like $5 and whatnot, and most of them do get completed from what I understand. There's a few here or there that end up not being completed and whatnot.
Like every game that Telltale was currently making.
Mm-hmm.
Like most Telltale games that they were making were released, and apparently the Walking Dead final season is going to be completed by mostly the same crew, but technically a different studio. So that's happening. But like but yeah, I see where you're coming from. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, if people didn't know, apparently the Walking Dead final season will be completed.
But if you think about it, you talk about most of them only have 5 parts, right? And they're all $5. Well, that's $25 for a game that, probably all together you'd probably only pay 10 or 15 for.
Maybe, but there's still some people buy them whole for like $20, $25. Like I'm not a fan of it. I was playing devil's advocate. I totally see where you're coming from, and I understand. I think I would have more problems with it if it was more mainstream and something people were more taking advantage of. But as it is now,
well, what about Final Fantasy VII Remake?
The Final Fantasy VII Remake, they're saying that each one is going to be a complete experience, not necessarily like a separate part. Like they're saying, like each one is going to be their own standalone complete experience. So what I'm assuming that means is that one game will release and it'll be like a full package or whatnot. Then the next game release. At least I think that's how they're doing it. I'm not sure entirely. I mean, I know we know next to nothing about the Final Fantasy VII Remake except it had to be rebooted.
Okay, no, for that one, I can kind of understand why they'd have to release that in episodic format, because there's a lot of towns that they'll have to render in HD, and that's a lot of gigabytes right there.
Yeah,
I mean, Final Fantasy 15, it's almost 100 gigabytes as it is right now, and only has 2 towns in it.
Technically,
yeah, but they are very likely to just like nickel and dime you to death kind of thing.
Yeah,
that's possible. But I'm more worried about is apparently.
Likely.
What I'm more worried about is apparently, according to the same interview, they said, like, as they're making their games, they're going to make certain story adjustments to improve on it or whatnot.
Yeah.
Whenever I hear that, I can't help but think, of George Lucas improving the original trilogy or whatnot, just being like, oh god. You know what I mean? Or a lot of shitty remakes, and they're like, we're going to improve on the original, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Well, from my understanding, and I don't know if this is true or not, but like from my understanding is some SJWs have worked their way into it.
No.
What do you mean?
I've heard rumors that they're going to be downsizing the breast size on Tifa.
What?
Because, I don't know if that rumors are true or not, but like I've heard that.
Like that might not necessarily be SJWE. That just might be something.
Shut your filthy mouth, Papa G. That's totally SJWE.
Yeah. There's another rumor I heard that they're cutting out all the part where Cloud goes up and dresses up as a female to infiltrate.
Here's the thing. All we have right now are rumors and speculation until it's like set in stone.
We won't see anything for another 20, 30 years,
Yeah, exactly. So it's like
that's just Square Enix for you.
And I don't know. It wouldn't surprise me
maybe
if it was
before I got.
It's like, to be fair though, like Tifa's oversized breasts, while they look good on like a Lego model, it would probably look a bit silly on like a real life 3D HD model and whatnot.
No, because her boobs are not that big. They're what, D's? Double D, something like that. It's freaking human limit.
They were fine in
You know?
Advent Children.
Yeah, and it's not like you know, a lot of SJWs are trying to be like, she's got big boobs and everything. It's like, you know, there was also Eris who had like medium sized boob and Yuffie that had small sized boob. You know, they have the whole array.
Look, in my opinion, the boob sizes are the least people have to be concerned about for the Final Fantasy VII remake.
Well,
Yes.
the fact is that they're changing the character designs and they're changing a lot about the game. It's not going to be the same game.
What I'm saying is, what I'm more concerned about is them changing quote unquote parts of the stories. Like they're adjusting the storyline to appeal to modern sensibilities or whatnot.
Yeah, my
about character
I'm
models as well.
worried about it. What I'm worried about is if they're gonna do like Eris can be saved or Eris will be saved and whatnot. Bullshit.
No. My point is if
they'll do Eris or Eris is saved DLC. That wouldn't surprise me if Square Enix pulls that bullshit. Well,
my issue is if they're changing the base characters, they're probably changing pretty much everything, and it's not going to be the same game.
Yeah. Because if you're changing one thing, you're going to change 3 more things. And small things make big impact.
If you're changing a core thing, then you have to change literally everything else.
Yes, because Tifa's boobs was a core integral part of her character.
Yes.
No, Tifa's design, her whole design was a core thing.
That's fair. That is fair.
You know.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like she's an unrealistic woman. Again, watch Advent Children.
Yeah.
What if I don't want to watch Advent Children? Because I heard.
Well, look at a screenshot.
Advent Children. You know what? Here's a rant I have to go on. I haven't even seen Advent Children, but I'm angry at its existence. Because Advent Children kind of ruins the ending of Final Fantasy VII.
How?
It ruins the ending because remember, at the end of Final Fantasy VII, the big deal of the game has big environmental scenes, okay? And the big deal at the game, a major question was, will Holy? Was it Holy? Yeah, I think it was Holy. Like the big thing was they're going to use Holy to stop the meteor because it considers a threat to Earth. But what they didn't know, and was a very real question, is that will it consider humans a threat as well? And given the fact that humans in Final Fantasy VII have literally destroyed the planet or have literally caused environmental problems and damage to the planet, it was a really worrying question. And then at the end, they left it in the air, where it cut to 500 years later to Red 13 and his children looking over Midgar overgrown with grass. And it left you wondering, has humanity been destroyed? Have they not been destroyed? It left you with a very serious question and impact. But as a children, they just said, fuck that thought-provoking question. They all lived. It ruins the mystery and whatnot. There's no longer a question of did they survive, did they not survive? Instead, just yeah, they survived. Like humans aren't really that threat and whatnot.
Well, the thing is it's you know, I don't think it's really necessarily left that way. Like, yeah, they don't specifically tell you that, but it's like it's more like were humans able to survive the apocalypse that happened after that kind of thing.
Yeah, kinda, sorta, since they got the Jewish stigma.
Yeah, and that was what the movie was about: is them surviving, or not surviving that.
Yeah, surviving the fallout.
I guess, it kind of
like Bethesda has to do.
I guess would argue by answering that question, it takes away some of the magic of that ending, because originally for Final Fantasy VII, you didn't know whether they survived or not. You just saw a Midgard completely covered with grass or whatnot. And
well, at the end of Advent Children, you see the exact same thing.
Do you?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Slow me down.
Because Advent Children takes place right after that, and then that same event with Red and his children takes place way after that, and they still put that part at the end of Advent Children.
But doesn't Advent Children still inherently answer the question? Because wouldn't Holy wasn't the implication that Holy could have instantly killed them, and by them not instantly being dead, doesn't that inherently ruin the question?
I don't think Holy was supposed to kill anybody.
Okay. Well, that's the point. That's that to me that was part of the point. Is would he kill people? Would he not kill people? It was a debate to be had.
The meteor was going to kill people. Holy was supposed to save people.
Yes, but
Save the planet.
wasn't there a question? Wasn't there a question that will Holy see humans as like part of the problem, or as
I never seen it that way.
Maybe I'm interpreting it differently. So
Yes, you are.
I don't think I
Go
am.
get some cheese with that wine.
I've seen a bunch of other people on the internet have the exact same interpretation and problems as I have, so I can't be crazy.
Look, it gives us an awesome movie in Advent Children. Just drop it, Papa G.
Fine. Is Advent
Yes.
Children a good movie?
Yeah.
Hey, why is Advent Children good? Try to sell it on me, because like I've heard mixed things on it.
Incredibly good animation, or at least the complete version does.
Continuation of the story.
Mm-hmm.
What if I thought the original already had a perfect ending? Yeah.
It gives a middle finger to the rules of physics.
Yeah.
How is that good? How is that good?
It's an action movie.
Pretty much all action movies do that, or at least a lot of them do. A lot of anime does that.
Yeah. It has the Turks actually be badass, rather than just
I love the
rather
Turks.
than just be douchebags.
Yeah, the Turks were awesome in that movie.
Although Sung and Elena don't really do anything.
Yeah, that was kind of sad. But you got a whole bunch of what's his name with the red hair?
In fact, even Rude. No, was it?
Yeah.
No, Reno.
No, Rude was the bald guy, wasn't he?
Yeah, Reno. Yes.
Reno.
Yeah.
Like Reno was so fucking awesome in that movie.
Mm-hmm. In fact, even Rufus Shinra gets a moment of action.
Yeah, he did. Well, kind of I don't know, kind of a reevaluation of his morals to a point.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm worried about is like I haven't seen Advent Children, so I'm just like basing this off of something else someone told me. Someone told me that like they ruined Sephiroth in that movie because originally Sephiroth, like, you couldn't tell if Sephiroth was just an evil guy or was corrupted by what was it called, Genova or whatnot, but in the movie it just says he's just an evil guy. Does that happen, or?
Well, they never go into depth about him. They just resurrect him, and then once he resurrects, it's pretty much a fight scene. There's not really too much into his character, is there? Unless I'm forgetting something. Do you remember, V?
No, not really.
I think that was pretty much it.
Maybe my friend was being fucking retarded. It's possible he's been fucking retarded before.
Yeah.
Well, that is one thing I kind of liked about Sephiroth in the game, is where you can entirely tell if he really just like went insane or was an evil guy, or if he was like being corrupted by Genova or what.
Well,
have you not played Crisis Core, Papa G?
Yeah.
No, I haven't played Crisis Core.
That says a lot.
Yeah, it does, because like you would know all this stuff from Crisis Core. Not to mention, it's to a point kind of told you in 7.
I'm sorry for interrupting. What were you saying?
I mean, like you would definitely know it from Crisis Core, but it is told to you basically what happens in 7. It's just not as clear cut as Crisis Core is.
Okay. Well, it sounds like the compilation of Final Fantasy VII ruins Final Fantasy VII by answering a bunch of questions that should have just like remained questions.
Nah, I don't think it does. I think it adds a lot to it. I did not like the combat system of Crisis Core, but like I absolutely love Crisis Core story and everything else. It was amazing.
So that's that conflict resolved then.
Yeah.
Fun fact: Crisis Core's director would later go on to direct Final Fantasy 15.
Yeah.
Just thought it was a fun fact. Well, maybe I'll have to experience them for myself at one point so I can really talk.
I think you can emulate it at this point.
Yeah.
Because I don't think you can buy it for some legal reason. I'm not entirely sure what it was.
And it's a PSP game.
Well, I think it was they based one of the characters off a real-life Japanese pop star, and there were legality issues, weren't there?
Oh, was that Angel?
Dact, I think it was. For Genesis, remember?
Oh, yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Or perhaps we'll
I
never
feel-
know, because infinite in mystery is the gift of the goddess.
Yeah. So in Advent Children, what was it? Did they say that Sephiroth was crazy or that he was possessed by Genova?
They don't go into it.
Well, in the if you're looking at Crisis Core, not that, you can see that Sephiroth was plenty well sane
Okay.
for a good portion of the game, and that's the reason why he was Cloud's role model, kind of thing.
Oh, yeah, that I got. But, like, what I always thought was interesting and whatnot was after he comes in contact with Genova, like, you never knew for certain whether he went insane or whatnot, or if he was under control of Genova.
Well, see, the thing is Crisis Core has a story where you have many characters that are basically contacted with Genova, basically, and what was his name? Genesis.
Mm-hmm.
Genesis was basically the same thing happened to him that happened to Sephiroth, basically,
Okay.
but differently, because Genesis was basically a inferior version of Sephiroth, just like Cloud was, even though Cloud was technically superior. But
So he didn't go crazy. He was always meant to do that.
well, the fact is Hojo was messing around with a lot of people's DNA, including Genesis and Sephiroth and Cloud, and Hojo's intentions are never really made clear, other than that he's a mad scientist that's causing all kinds of trouble.
Yeah, the fact
But
that he was a mad scientist was always pretty much established.
Yeah. So is he a bad character is he purposely trying to be bad, or is he just being bad because he's a mad scientist, kind of thing?
Okay.
But like he is, because he took the Genova cells and he injected it and did like all these different things to it and whatnot. And actually, I think he was pretty much a bad character because he did kill what's their names? Alphina, I think is her name. Vincent's girlfriend, I think it was.
That I'm not sure on.
That was in Final Fantasy VII.
Okay.
Because he did. Did he kill her, or did he? Well, I mean, he didn't technically. She didn't die because she got in that crystal thing. But like,
You mean Lucretia?
Yeah, Lucretia. Yeah, he didn't. He was what caused that. I can't remember exactly how that happened, but he was definitely the cause of that. I don't know if it was direct or if he ordered somebody else to do it or what, but can't remember. It's been so long.
Yeah.
You remember?
Well, you never know with Hojo. He's that insane.
Yeah.
I mean, killing someone to suit his own needs, that's totally something he would do.
Yeah.
Trying to.
I mean, was it Aerith's original parents? He killed them off.
Yeah.
Why is whether Aerith is called Aerith? Like, why is it Aerith?
Because it's one in Japanese, one in America. So there's a translation thing. I think it was.
Yeah, I mean, there's always.
If I remember right, it was. If I remember right, it was Aerith in Japan and Eris in America.
Well, I'm calling her Aerith because that sounds better. And like, that might be.
Well, there are all kinds of translation errors. I mean, I think it was "This people are sick." Was that the most infamous one?
I don't remember that one, but wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I asked about it just because I've heard some arguments that say, like, no, it was originally meant to be Aerith or whatnot. I don't care. It doesn't matter. I'm calling her Aerith just because it sounds cooler.
I like both. I think I like Aerith better because it rolls.
Yeah.
But, excuse me. But I also very much like the original because it's the original. But Aerith is so much easier to say.
One thing I really do wonder if there's going to be like some Aerith Lives DLC, or like you're going to be able to save Aerith in the original in the Final Fantasy VII remake.
No.
It wouldn't
Look,
surprise
look,
me.
it
The
made,
remake probably
it
is.
made sense to do that in Final Fantasy 15, because Final Fantasy 15 has a terrible ending, but it doesn't make sense to do it in Final Fantasy 7.
Well, like that's the thing. It would like make sense for Square Enix to think it would be a good idea.
Well, no, the Final Fantasy 7 ending was good the way it was. The Final Fantasy 15 ending was not.
Well, like I can
Yeah.
totally see some businessmen being like with like their big mustaches and like them wanting money to be like, we'll get us some extra money to let those suckers like let Aerith live and stuff. Now let's charge it $19.99.
I think that will honestly be a thing because they're too money now to not do that kind of thing. And like there was so much demand for Aerith to come back to life when Seven originally came out, and like then there was rumors and everything that surfaced that said there's actually a way to go to the cave and get Aerith back, but you have to do it at this certain time at this certain thing, and it was a false thing that was put out there, but like everybody tried it and trying to get Aerith back, and like there was so much demand to try to get Aerith back because nobody wanted her to die.
Yeah. And she was also
But
a really good healer that most people probably put a lot of investment into.
Yeah.
And then she's just killed off. It's like, what the hell?
Well, the argument could be had that like her death was a very important part of the game and whatnot.
Yeah. I definitely
one
would
thing
not
I
have
could see a DLC for would be a DLC to let you play as Sephiroth more than you do in the main game.
Maybe.
I mean, there's
all I know is
15 there's an Arden DLC coming out.
All I know is that we know next to nothing about what the Final Fantasy VII remake is actually gonna be, except for some small things here and there. Hope it's good.
Yeah. I hope the remake is going to be good, but I really have my doubts. I think there will be good aspects to it, like the combat system looked pretty interesting.
Yeah.
But I have a feeling they're going to mess it up trying to be money hungry and social justice-y.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it'll be social justice theme and stuff. I think it'll just I don't know. I don't know what it was gonna be, but like it wouldn't. I don't know. I don't know. That's what I think.
We can only hope.
I hope it'll be good, or I hope it never comes out. One of the two.
I hope Tifa's tits are still big.
Yes. Yes. Why do you hate women so much, Square Enix? Don't decrease her boob size.
I don't think they hate women. Like, we don't know if they're gonna do it or not. That's why I'm saying I hope they don't.
I hope they don't do a lot of things that supposedly are going to get done or are rumored to get done to it, but I hope that it turns out a good game.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because if it's a good game, I will be in freaking hog heaven. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But if it's a shit game, which is what it's really leaning towards heavily at the moment.
And it's like, is there nothing sacred anymore?
Yeah, it's going to be, kind of like a Ghostbusters remake to, somebody who was a huge Ghostbusters fan.
Don't even mention that movie. That was awful.
Yeah, I'm afraid that.
What I'm thinking is the Final Fantasy VII remake has for a while been Square Enix's trump card, where if they ever get desperate or start running out of ideas, we can always just pull this card out of their butts and say, "Hey, we have this. We have this."
Yeah.
What I'm worried about is this is their last card they have to play, and that everything else is going to be downhill from here. But I don't know. Hopefully,
Well, they still have the Final Fantasy series as well. Let's hope they don't screw that up.
In my opinion, it has been downhill ever since Final Fantasy X.
Mm-hmm. Or
Then
Kingdom Hearts even. I think they still have that one.
Guess
Yeah, I never got into Kingdom Hearts. Not really, anyway. I love the first one until you get to the, I guess it's the final boss where you lose Donald and Goofy, and then so much rage, about 5 billion rage quits later. It's like, fuck this game. I'm never playing it again.
we should probably, you know what? Me and DolphinVi were thinking at one point, since Kingdom Hearts 3 is coming out very, very soon, doing an entire breakdown of the story and lore of all the Kingdom Hearts games.
Oh
Would you
lord!
be willing? Would you be willing to be our student for that?
Don't do it! Don't do it! Don't do it!
Do it, please.
No,
It'll be
as
very
a friend, Sharky, don't do it. It's not worth it.
it's really worth it. It'll blow your brain.
I think I already know a good bit of it, and I don't think I want to.
The story got a bit off the rails in recent series.
Yeah.
I mean, luckily after Kingdom Hearts 3, the main bad guy's gonna be dead, or something bad's gonna happen to him, and they'll move on to somebody else.
Yeah, but here's the thing: Kingdom Hearts, they officially. Sorry, I'll stop interrupting.
The loop. It seemed like it was a case of time travel that made no sense.
Something like that. But like, here's the thing. After Kingdom Hearts 3 comes out, this has officially been said by the game's director that this will just be the end of what's called the Dark Seeker saga, or arc, or whatnot. And after that, they'll continue to make other Kingdom Hearts games and whatnot. So who knows where we can go from here?
Yeah.
Well, for me, no matter what happens, it'll be amazing. If it's good, then it's good. But if not, then no matter what, I don't know what's going to happen in Kingdom Hearts 3, because Kingdom Hearts is impossible to predict because it does stuff.
It doesn't make sense.
Sometimes it does stuff that makes sense. Most of the time, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
But it's like,
and it makes you feel pity for characters you wouldn't think of.
yeah.
I mean, Sora's mother, how long has she been waiting for her son to come down to eat?
Yeah, that's the same. Sora's mother only appeared in that one scene and was never seen again. Maybe she's dead.
It's been like 2 years now.
Then if she's dead, then you have to think about, the lack of mourning for her or caring about her that she's gone.
Yeah. It's kind of like how nobody cared about Han Solo dying in Last Jedi.
Wait, he died in The Last Jedi?
No, he died in The Force Awakens.
But nobody cared, you see.
People
You didn't get the sarcastic in there.
Well, people definitely cared.
Well, then where the hell was the mourning in The Last Jedi? Give us that.
Fair enough. Well, they were too busy during war. They didn't have time to.
What, the First Order was not handicapped at all by their Star Killer base being destroyed?
Fair enough.
And then Rian Johnson apparently wrote that before the Force Awakens ever came out.
Anyway, I will say this: the most interesting part of Kingdom Hearts is that the main bad guy wants to make 13 versions of himself.
Yep, I've seen that. I know that. Doesn't he send all 13 of them back in time?
He sends himself back to time in order to make himself do what he's going to do in the future.
Yeah.
Which brings up a lot of questions, because what motivated him in the first place? Himself? What if himself motivated, and then what motivated that self? What motivated that one? What motivated that one?
And that's the reason why it doesn't make any sense.
Well, that's the problem with a lot of
stop
time
it a bit.
travel
Here's
periods.
what happens. His past self goes and does all the stuff that you see in Dream Drop Distance, and then he loses his memory, but he still has the instinct that, hey, this Keyblade, I need to learn more about it. I need to get obsessed with it, and that eventually leads him to, what happens.
That it just ends up happening again and again and again.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you cannot say Kingdom Hearts is not unpredictable.
Or that it makes sense.
Yeah. But in a way, it's become part of
Buttholes.
Kingdom Hearts' charm over time.
Yeah. Hopefully 3 will renew that. As we
What,
get
it not
Toy
make-
Story, that was definitely one new world.
What, that it's it not making sense, or
That'll make sense and have a Kingdom Hearts
Okay.
charm.
So
Hard combat.
Oh yeah, here's one thing that's apparently fucking crazy. According to the director, the Kingdom Hearts 3 Toy Story mission is canon in the Toy Story saga. And that just raises so many freaking questions to me. Like, so many.
Well, I don't
Yeah.
really care about that. What I'm hoping is they make the maps more open. That it feels a bit more open world rather than, okay, here's a room that you're in. Go from room to room.
Based off the gameplay stuff, it looks like they're gonna do that. But we'll have to...
Yeah.
At least that's what it looks like it.
So I have a question for you guys.
Yes.
So why do people keep on buying Kingdom Hearts? Because they like a lot of people agree that the story doesn't make any sense. They have all these issues with it, but yet they keep on buying it. Is it that they're just so invested from the first part they have to see it all the way through? Because I know I was that way with Dragon Ball Super. Because I was so invested in Dragon Ball Z, I had this cringe through Super.
It's a couple things. That's definitely part of it. But another part of it is the games are genuinely fun for the most part. They have a pretty good combat system. It's pretty flashy, but has a good amount of substance to it, and they're fun to play. And the other part is some people are invested in the story still. And to some degree, I guess I am, but that's mostly more so just to see what they pull out of their ass next. And and some people definitely are. It's just they feel like a motivation to that. They're this deep into the rabbit hole that they have no choice but to continue. So it's a bunch of things.
Yeah.
Right?
I can agree with that.
Which one do you think it is for you, DolphinVi?
Well, there's definite investment into the story. I want to see how it all finally ends.
Even though it doesn't, it won't make sense.
I've already bought so much Kingdom Hearts merchandise. I want to see how the story ends.
So you're so deep down the rabbit hole.
Yeah, that was just all for nothing. I mean, Kingdom Hearts 2.8. What the hell was that? I mean, I guess, I got to see Aqua in the Land of Darkness and have her be a cat girl ninja, but come on, give me something more than that.
How many 2-point-something games are there anyway?
There's 1.5, 2.5, and 2.8.
So there's 3 decimal games.
Yeah.
There's a trilogy of decimal games.
Oh wait, was it? There was my favorite title is Kingdom Hearts 0.5: A Fragmentary Passage.
The question is are they afraid of doing a third, episode? Are they imitating Valve here?
There was a third episode. It actually is coming out.
Yeah. Because the thing is, it's
supposedly.
Yeah. It is it's coming out on January. It's coming out January 29th, about a little over a month or two from now.
In fact, some copies have already come out in Japan.
Yeah, some copies have leaked actually. Some people.
So you have to be careful for spoilers online now.
I tried to look up spoilers, but couldn't find any. So it looks like it's kind of hard.
You Kingdom Hearts Philistine. Why would you do that?
I like looking up spoilers. It's a bad habit of mine. But it is coming out January 29th finally. And people have been waiting for it since 2005. So they have made other Kingdom Hearts games since Kingdom Hearts 2, but it's been mostly a bunch of spin-off games and whatnot.
Yeah.
But the question goes back, or are they afraid? Were they afraid of the number 3, or did they specifically want to make it a trilogy, even though it's got 6 parts?
Well, the best explanation I've heard is all the Kingdom Hearts games where it's not a 1 or a 2. Those are the parts where Sora is not a complete human being. Chain of Memories, he's not complete. Was it 365 days? He's not complete.
Well, what was it called? What was that one called? It was a 3DS game, and then it became, once it came to the PS4, what was it called? It was bundled in 2.8. What was it called?
Dream Drop Distance.
Dream Drop Distance. What about that one?
Yeah, that one honestly don't know.
I would argue he's not a complete human in any of them because nobody wears clown shoes like that, except for Mickey Mouse.
Dream Drop Distance is where Sora basically turns into a wuss, so I'm fine with that one not being an official number. Yeah, they turned him into a wuss just to make Riku look cool.
If I had to guess why, I would like this. I think it's because at first they didn't have time to make a 3, or at least in terms of one that was as big as 1 and 2. So they just did a bunch of spin-offs. Then they kept on making spin-offs and whatnot, and eventually it's just like they just delayed making 3 forever, and now they're just like, we're so close, guys. Here's this 2.8, this one little last little bit of.
And then 2.9 comes out.
Oh, it's okay. I get why they didn't do it now because Riku is the main character of Dream Drop Distance, not Sora. There you go. Okay.
And then 2.99. 2.999.
No, they're officially coming out with 3 now. They have confirmed it.
Yeah, 2.8 was pretty much Kingdom Hearts 2.8 was pretty much just Kingdom Hearts 3 hype time because it had a bunch of stuff in there that would lead to Kingdom Hearts 3. Like it had something that was pretty much like the Aqua stuff. And there's a bit where you get to play as Aqua in the Land of Darkness, and that's pretty much sort of a demo of Kingdom Hearts 3 because it runs on not only the same engine, the same graphics and whatnot, but it's just sort of like supposedly has very similar gameplay to Kingdom Hearts 3.
Yeah, it's kind of also fan service as well.
Yeah,
because you can dress her up in different outfits, so that's nice, I guess.
Then there's also this other game, Dream Drop Distance, that takes place literally right before Kingdom Hearts 3 starts. And then there's this 1 hour long stupid movie thing.
To remind you that they had a mobile game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I heard about that one.
Game, and apparently it has some stuff in there that might come into play in Kingdom Hearts 3. I don't know. I mean, it might come into play in Kingdom Hearts 3. Maybe it'll come into play in another game down the road.
Another mobile game.
It was kind of a shitty movie.
Yeah, it was.
All I know is the movie was kind of shitty. It was an hour long. It was kind of bad and stupid.
My next question is, what will be after 3? What will the next Kingdom Hearts? Will it be 3.0001?
Who the hell knows?
Who knows? I certainly don't.
I mean, they're gonna retire the main villain. We know that much, but that's all we know.
Yeah.
Well, man, if they made it 3.000, then they could, not retire the main villain and just do a story, around the main villain kind of thing.
Maybe.
And then, 3.0002, they do a story around the villain's henchmen.
They have done stories about the villain's henchmen already.
I mean, they could do 13, they could go from... all the way up to 13 and do each one of his, the villain's 13 selves.
Yeah. They already made a game about that. It's called 358 / 2 days.
But that was about all of them together, right? He hadn't done all of them separately.
That's true. It's funny, for years I didn't understand what the /2 meant. In the 358 / 2 days meant until someone pointed out to me, and I was like, oh yeah, that makes sense. Because technically the 358 days are divided amongst 2 people, technically. Are we sad individuals? Have I fucked up in my life? Where did I go wrong? Where did it all go wrong?
No, it probably went wrong for me when I had a replica Keyblade on my wall. If you watch any earlier videos, you can see it up there.
Hey, I thought it was cool that you had it up on your wall. I thought that was pretty cool.
The Keyblade does look pretty cool, though.
Yeah.
Well, you don't like having it up on your wall anymore?
Thinking about now with how far I've gone in Kingdom Hearts, it's a little sad. It is cool though.
Yeah, come on, town and model Keyblade on your wall, but pretty cool. I know a lot of cool guys have that sort of shit. But where did I go wrong? I think it went wrong the moment I was diagnosed with OCD. My life started to go down after that point because I realized that I was abnormal from the rest of the people around me.
Yes. So
I
your
realized,
normalcy didn't just die; it was murdered. Then, Poverty.
yes, it did.
Yes. I was like, Dave, you want to see any more that are terrible? I guess murdered soul suspect.
Well, the fact is most people have some kind of mental disorder. They're just not diagnosed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty much everybody on the planet. There might be a few exceptions, but I think it's pretty much everybody on the planet has something. Just they're not diagnosed.
That's probably true.
Mhm.
Yeah, and I tell you, there's such a stigma around it that at least several years ago, like if you told anybody that you had any kind of mental disorder, they would just almost all of them would abandon you.
Or just put you in an asylum. Yes.
Yeah.
Like, it's gonna sound really triggering to some people. We live in a much more progressive and healthier time now.
Well, that's not triggering.
Yeah,
that's
but like some people, as soon as you say progressive or whatnot, they instantly think, oh, SJW. Yeah.
And I don't think this time is progressive. I mean, we've progressed in some areas, but we have regressed on a lot of areas.
Mhm.
Well, that's just sort of a thing that happens and stuff. We take one step forward, two step back.
I think we've taken like one step forward and about 16 back.
Yeah.
What am I? What else do I want to say? I'm trying to think. Is there anything else I want to say?
Do you have anything to say about murdered soul suspect? You played that one?
I've not played that one. I'm sorry.
You know what a terrible game that was. I'm trying to think. Is there anything nice I can actually say about that game?
I guess I can say one thing nice. I was dragged to see Aquaman against my will.
The new one?
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't awful. It was alright. It was okay.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't think I would like go out of my way to see it again, but it was amusing. Felt a little bit too long, but it was fun. It was alright. It was.
So we're talking about the best DC movie out yet?
I guess probably the best one would be Wonder Woman.
Mm-hmm.
I guess.
Besides Wonder Woman, Wonder Woman doesn't count.
Okay, and I guess it would be the best out there. I guess. It felt like some problems I had was it felt it was a bit too long in some area. It felt a bit too long. Like near the end, I was starting to get a little tired, and whatnot. Started to overstay its welcome, but it was kind of fun. Didn't notice that many plot holes. However, I don't know. I've only seen it once, and that was tonight. So who knows? Maybe I'll wake up tomorrow and think of this problem, that problem, that problem. But that was entertaining.
Dolphin. When you're editing this video, what you should do is right when Papa G says that he likes the movie, have put a little sound clip in there saying "my man."
I guess I'm a DC shill now. I'm a shill for the DC cinematic universe. I've only seen two DC cinematic universe films, and that's Wonder Woman and Aquaman.
Probably the best two to see.
Yeah.
I don't know. I haven't seen Aquaman, but
it wasn't like
I've heard good things
Like not
about
bad Superman.
Wonder Woman.
It wasn't like super duper amazing. Wow's balls. That's a new term I gotta start using. Wow's balls.
Are you cereal? That's really what you're using?
It's better than anything else in Life is Strange. Oh, I forgot my favorite line in Life is Strange. My favorite line in Life is Strange ever is, "You're the reason we need to build that wall." Best line ever.
Oh, jeez.
To make a long story short, in Life is Strange 2, there's this guy who is Puerto Rican, and he's on the hunt from the police for a crime he didn't commit. And this guy finds him and he captures him, and he's like, "I'm gonna call the police on you." And like he then says, like, "Man, you're the criminals. Like you are the reason. Like we need to build that wall or whatnot." And it was just Very,
Mhm.
very
On the
subtle
nose.
political commentary.
Very subtle there.
Then there's just really like you're stopping the entire story just to say this.
I mean, I guess it kind of makes sense in context, but it still felt a bit on the nose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, for
anyway,
me, if you're gonna put politics into a story, it should just be a natural part of the story. It shouldn't feel like you're deliberately putting some real world thing.
I don't know. The argument could be made that maybe it was natural or whatnot, but
Yeah.
it still just sounded funny to me.
I mean, it is. I mean, Final Fantasy X was about as political a story as you can get, but nobody thinks about that when they remember the game because it blended in so well.
Yeah, and all pretty much most of the Final Fantasies, if not all of them, tackle something along that lines in there and make it feel natural.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like Final Fantasy VII. Apparently, it's a big fu to OPEC in some way.
OPEC, like somebody that's wrecking the environment.
Yeah, and it's a monopoly.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
One funny thing I have to say about Aquaman that I found interesting is he barely uses his like most well known superpower, which is to talk with animals. Like he uses it a little bit at the end, and then he uses it a little bit at the uses it a little bit at the beginning and a little bit at the very end. But like there's this whole long span in between the middle where he doesn't use it at all, and I literally forgot he had that power until he used it again near the end. I thought it was very funny. I was like, oh yeah, that's right, he does have that power.
That's essentially his only power. Like, I mean, like he has like strengths that are not that power, but that's his only power. Like, I mean, he's like super fast swimming.
Yeah.
All this kind of stuff, but that's not really a power.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, fair enough.
I mean, it kind of is, but it kind of isn't. I mean, he had to. I mean, like it comes with the territory of living underwater, kind of thing.
Yeah.
You're not a fast swimmer, then you're dead.
I mean, the pretty much bulletproof one. I guess that's something.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know he was bulletproof.
Well, you can survive the pressures of underwater. You can survive the pressures.
Well, yeah.
He gets stabbed. He I don't know. Well, I don't know. Can he survive a stab wound? He gets stabbed in the movie, and he does.
Well, if you can survive the depths of the ocean, you can't be stabbed. Essentially.
Well, he was stabbed in the movie, so I don't know about that.
Was he stabbed underwater or was he stabbed above water?
He was stabbed above water.
That makes no sense.
Yeah.
Well, most of the DCU doesn't make much sense.
Because
Jesse
when you're
Einsberg as Lex Luthor didn't make sense.
Yeah, because when you're at the the depths of the ocean that the Aquaman would be in, it's so much psi, so much pressure against your skin that it's like being stabbed with a knife that's on the top of the Empire State Building at every inch of your body. And if that doesn't penetrate your body, like a regular knife or whatever isn't.
Yeah, they even make a point of that in the movie. Like, part of being an Atlantean is you being able to survive the pressure of the ocean, the deep pressure and whatnot. Blah blah blah. Then later he gets stabbed by a knife or whatnot. So I guess
it would have to be Superman or something that stabbed him.
Probably, I think it was some sort of special knife, maybe. So maybe that was
course.
it. What was I gonna say? I kind of felt like it was one thing that's kind of funny to me is like when he ended up getting an orange suit or whatnot to resemble, how he looks in the comics like Aquaman or whatnot. It was supposed to be an epic moment, but to me, I just couldn't help but giggle a little bit just because it looked a bit silly.
Yeah, I can imagine.
It's like he finally has that armor he wears in the comics. It's so epic, and I'm just like, he looks silly. It was better before. My favorite. I haven't seen Batman v Superman, but my one of my favorite scenes ever is when Lex Luthor goes like ding 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 at the end of the movie. I've seen that scene and I couldn't stop laughing at it.
No.
Right? Never
It's
had
not
no.
that I hate Jesse Eisenberg, but he was good in Zombieland. I mean,
I think he
when that's the kind of character he plays, he does really good. If you try to
think he
make him
did
play anything else than that, he falls flat.
See, he did a really good job in The Social Network, but it's been forever since I've seen that movie.
Mm-hmm.
But I remember him doing a really good job in that movie. Yeah, I think he's a good actor. I just think he was probably really miscast.
That's what I just said.
Oh yeah, I was agreeing with you. I was expanding upon it.
You didn't add anything though.
Your expansion fell flat.
Well, at least I don't like. At least I'm not. I'm not the guy.
It would be like trying to have Papa G play Bane.
What does he say?
I think you can get the voice down.
Mm-hmm.
You'll never stop me, but then how's that for a voice?
We just need to get Papa G a face mask so he has that muffled kind of tone to it.
And some serious steroids.
Yeah, I'd be the perfect Bane.
I mean, we could just give him a balloon suit kind of thing.
I'll just wear a bunch of shirts or whatnot, and it'll make me look buff. Yeah.
You see like all the shirts, and then you see this little bitty arm coming out of it.
It'll make me look more intimidating that way.
Yeah.
Anyway, at least I'm not the person who likes Suicide Squad, DolphinVi.
Mm-hmm. Now, what's wrong with that? I thought it was a pretty okay movie.
I didn't see it,
With
so
some,
I don't know.
I mean, there are a few things about it. They're a bit but it was a pretty good movie.
I didn't see it, so I don't know. I just like doing that joke for some reason. I like doing the joke where it's like, at least you said it like that movie, and then the person's like, that was okay, and I'm like, yeah, I didn't see it. For some reason, I like doing that joke.
What do you think about Joker in that movie?
That's one of the downs of it.
I think I would be
that good. He wasn't. And
That's
Will
probably why they
Smith
cut out all that footage.
Yeah, I think Will Smith as Deadshot. He was hit and miss depending on the scene.
I see what you did there.
I didn't even mean that as a pun. That's just how it came out. I mean, there were some scenes where it's like that's not Deadshot. That's just Will Smith in a Deadshot suit, and there were other scenes where he totally nailed it.
my favorite meme from the movie that was spawned. Well, two favorite memes. One meme was "This is the voice of God" meme that has spawned from it, and do you guys know the line from the movie where they're like, she was fearless and crazier than him. She was his queen, and God help anyone who dare disrespect his queen. Do you remember when that was a meme for a while?
No.
Well, it was, but like the funniest part of it was one person put that line over images of Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton.
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry, didn't mean to get political. I haven't seen Suicide Squad, so I don't know if it's good or bad. Have you seen Suicide Squad, Sharky?
No, I haven't.
I think I would make a good Joker, because sometimes I think like the Joker. Like, sometimes, like, when I'm really depressed, or I get fed up with politics, I'm like, this world is just full of a bunch of moral idiots, or this stuff, or that stuff, or we live in a society, and whatnot. And I'm like, oh my god, it's starting to sound like the Joker.
Well, I think you would make a bad Joker, and here's why.
Why is that?
Anytime you try to make a joke, it falls flat. But when you're not trying, they work. But see, to be the Joker, you would have to always try, so it wouldn't work.
Well, I could be a Heath Ledger Joker, and that's less of a jokey and more about how.
Or you have to master the art of trying to be funny without making it look like you're trying to be funny, and that's pretty hard to do.
I sort of see myself of Heath Ledger, you know, like, we live in a society, blah, 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 kind of Joker, you know?
I don't know, maybe.
I don't know. I'm a terrible actor, so...
The Joker in Suicide Squad was really, really a low point.
A lot of people hate that Joker a lot.
Then Killer Croc, I don't really know what he did much in that movie. I mean, there was so little of him in there that there's actually a joke in the next Lego Batman movie of him saying, "I did something."
Lego Batman was a pretty funny movie.
Mhm.
Oh yeah. Like, why was the Joker in that movie bad?
Funny, I'm not too sure how I'd put that into words and how he was so bad.
A lack of acting, maybe.
Definitely not. Like, if anything, it's kind of overacting based off the clips I've seen.
Look, it's kind. I guess if I had to describe it this way, it's kind of like the reason that Duke Nukem Forever was bad. It's like trying too hard.
Try hard.
Mm-hmm. From what I understand, Jared Leto is a pretty good actor, though. So I guess that was a misstep on his end.
I've never heard of him until the Joker thing.
I mean, that's what it comes across as to me, is trying way too hard.
Yeah. Fair enough. So,
It's the same reason I didn't think Duke Nukem Forever was that good. It's like watching some guy saying, "Hey everyone, I'm manly. Did you hear how manly I'm manly. Do you not see how manly I'm manly. Watch me do manly things." It's like, okay, trying way too hard, dude. Trying too hard.
I think there's a joke later in the game where you're doing a puzzle. You have to pull a valve or something, and Duke Nukem literally says, "I hate valve puzzles."
Oh hey, Lethality.
Oh,
Yep.
hi, Sally. What are you doing here?
I just got back from. Yeah, Merry Christmas to you too. Just got back from looking at Christmas lights.
Okay.
Oh, that's nice.
No.
We were just talking about Suicide Squad and whatnot.
Oh, and how terrible of a movie it is. Yeah.
DolphinVi was actually praising it.
Yeah, I wasn't completely praising it.
He's saying it was all right, I think. What did you say?
Yeah, there were
Could have been
parts
done
of it-
better.
There were parts of it that were hit and miss. You know, like Will Smith with Deadshot. That was one.
And Deadshot was hit and miss.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so saying that there were some parts where he nailed it, and there were other parts where it's like, this is just Will Smith wearing a Deadshot costume.
You're also talking about how much you love the Joker, isn't that right?
No, I didn't.
I was hoping Lethality would react in between then and now, but he didn't.
No, he was a really low point in that movie.
Yeah.
So should we ask Lethality if there's any games he hates but has elements in it he likes, or what should we do with him?
Or one positive thing he can say about a game he hates.
Yeah. Lethality, is there any games you hate but you can say something positive about?
I guess Mass Effect Andromeda?
Oh,
What's something positive you can say about it?
It looks pretty.
that's something.
Oh yeah, here's something that might get you a bit angry. Or I don't know if it'll get you angry, but like, this is interesting. Apparently, Sharky really doesn't like Halo. Apparently.
I can see why.
Oh yeah, I can see why too. I just found it funny.
I love
Not
Halo.
funny.
I absolutely do, but everyone has a right to love and hate what they want.
No, I don't find it. I was just very taken aback.
For example, you love The Last Jedi, even though I despise it.
Well, I didn't love The Last Jedi. I just
No, don't you lie. Don't you lie.
No, really, I kind of liked The Last Jedi, even though it was kind of
From love to
retarded.
kind of like. I see how you act.
Yeah.
I never said I loved The Last. I mean, I did say I loved The Last Jedi, but I was mostly memeing and being ironic. I kind of like The Last Jedi, and I think the hate is a little overblown, but even though it's kind of retarded.
I think all the Disney Star Wars are pretty retarded.
Mm-hmm.
That is fair.
Yeah.
All they had to do was do the. All they had to do was look at one of the old comic books and just go, "Hey, you know what? Let's do this as a movie."
Mm-hmm.
But instead, they're like, "Nah, screw it. We're doing our own."
All I
And
have
by
to
our
do-
own, I mean we're going to take a whole bunch of elements from other games. I mean, movies
Mm-hmm.
that were previously better.
The funniest tweet, one tweet I found that didn't age well was that, "Just wait, in a month no one will remember The Last Jedi," and all I could think was, yeah, that tweet didn't age very well.
Not at all.
A nerd.
You should reply to that tweet.
I would, but I refuse to get a Twitter account.
Probably for the best that you don't.
Yeah.
You don't want to follow me on Twitter.
No, it's not that. It's like I go on Twitter and see what people are talking about, including you guys and whatnot. But well, I do. I actually visit Aldi's Twitter quite a bit, and I'm disappointed you removed your pinned tweet for a different pinned tweet. I'm really disappointed in you. You replaced your trap tweet with something else. I don't even remember what it was. It's disappointing.
Hang on, let me go click here. Oh, is it a wise man once said LGBT means let me get a boneless pizza with a 2-liter Coke?
Let me double check right now. One sec. I am clicking through.
I wonder what would happen if you called up a pizza place and said that.
What was it? Yeah, that's the one. Yeah. You replace that with you replaced your trapped.
People call them trash, but I call them a fully packaged surprise. Yeah.
I'm disappointed.
Surprise, all right.
I hate
Saladin. I don't like that.
You didn't like that one?
No, I liked that one, and that's why I'm disappointed that you replaced it.
Well, I can't just leave something up that's old.
Hey, you've got to evolve eventually.
On the occasion, I'll have a couple of puffs, and I'll think of something new.
Fine. But anyway, the reason why I refuse to get a Twitter account is because I know for a fact if I get a Twitter account, I'm going to spend all day and all night just arguing with a bunch of people, and I don't need that for my mental health. I already argue with people a lot on YouTube. I can only imagine what Twitter will do to me and whatnot. It'll probably ruin my mental health.
Yeah, it probably would.
Yeah, so
I guess, man, because Twitter rewards impulsivity.
Yeah, so it's like I mean, it's nothing against Twitter itself or any of you guys. I do follow.
Okay, I found something even better on Twitter.
What?
No, I just let me post it in the general real quick. Hang on.
Mm-hmm.
I found this. Watch that entire thing.
Very much so approve.
Unusual video indeed.
Be right back. I gotta go to the bathroom for a second. This gives you guys an excuse to talk about me behind my back.
Okay.
So what are we going to talk about, Papa G?
I don't know. He still defended The Last Jedi, so that's something.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And he likes the Disney Star Wars movies.
Mm-hmm. I always said The Last Jedi should just be retconned in Episode 9. What would anyone else think?
I think everything should be retconned except for 4, 5, and 6. The original.
I'm back.
We're not finished talking about you behind your back, so
Okay.
we need more time.
Okay. When should I come back in?
I don't even know.
Trying to think. Oh yeah, earlier we were talking about the fact that I saw Aquaman lethality and I didn't think it was awful.
I have yet to see it, and I am predicting that it's awful.
I mean,
Based on track records.
I mean, I thought it was okay, but then again, I thought The Last Jedi was okay, so I
Ugh. No.
I have a feeling that Aquaman is going to be one of their better movies. I don't predict it's going to be a great movie, but I picture that it's going to be one of their better movies because it tends to be like the lesser property, the lesser that it matters that it's good, the better it is.
it's definitely
Because you
too
can take
long.
more creative control with it.
It's definitely a bit too long and stuff. Like near the end of the movie, I really started to feel the runtime. I thought it was okay, like maybe a 5 or a 6 out of 10, if that means anything to you.
Not
It
really.
means something to me.
What's the average?
I mean, number review scores don't really mean a lot to me because different people will assign different values to them.
Well, 6 generally means it's alright to me. Like it's slightly above average.
Yeah, I think what people need to do when they're doing these number scales is every time before they tell what number something gets, how they rate the numbers.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Thing is, I have like there's a science and whatnot and a very strict rule set to every number I have and whatnot. And so if I ever do like a review channel or whatnot, I'll definitely post like what each number means and whatnot. But it's like I do definitely agree that like when you go to places like IGN and whatnot, it gets pretty confusing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like if I were to review video games, I'd be like, okay, a 1 would be like ET, and like a 10 would be like Final Fantasy VII.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. Whereas for me, I just gave up with numbers altogether in my recent reviews.
For the most part, I don't really. Like, I don't know. Yeah, numbers are a bit reductive. I just like doing numbers just because I don't know. It's kind of fun for me to put a number on something just to be like, I don't know. It's fun for some reason for me. I have weird taste in fun.
For me, what I think is more valuable would be a rating scale, sort of like the completionist has, but like for reviewing video games, like if you should like you know buy it and try it and see if you like it. Like 1 would be like, don't touch this game.
Yeah.
1 would be like, buy it or get a demo of it or something and see if you like it, kind of thing. The next one would be, if you like this kind of game, then you probably will like this kind of thing. If you like this genre or whatever, then you'll like this. But if you don't like it, stay away, kind of thing. And then the next one would be like, it's all right, kind of thing. And then next thing is, it's really good. You should definitely buy it. And next thing is, there's no way you should not own this.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Also, this is random, but I figure I make this bet official. Me and DolphinVi were shooting the shit a bit off screen, on the DMs and whatnot, and I offhandedly made the bet to DolphinVi that and I'm being serious on this. If somehow Sans from Undertale ends up in Smash Ultimate as a DLC character, I will film myself doing a backflip and post it to YouTube.
Can you even do
Wear a
backflip?
mask. We don't need to know the face of Papa G.
Yeah, I'm pretty ugly.
It shall remain a mystery.
Yeah, it's not that impressive. Don't worry. It's not that.
Aw,
You talking about his face or his dick? Which one?
His face.
Yeah, DolphinVi's seen my face, but no one else has seen my face. My face is a mystery.
I'd prefer to keep it that way. If you said something stupid, I want to mock your ideas, not you as a person.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Well, if Sans ends up in Smash Ultimate, then you'll get a chance to see my face.
I don't want to see your face.
Well, then don't watch the video of me doing a backflip.
I will purposefully censor your face and upload that as a video.
I mean,
Okay, maybe I'll do that.
It sounds
You-
enough
you get-
love to start fighting people. I don't know.
Censor his face with the cutout of the platypus face.
Yeah.
Maybe
Either
I'll
that or
do
get a
that.
mask and do a backflip. There you go.
Yeah, I can give you that picture if you want. That's fine.
Yeah, I'll either put the picture on my face or I'll like wear a mask or something I have laying around. And like,
Hmm.
if Sans actually ends up in Smash as a DLC character, I will do a backflip and film myself.
Are you
Doing it,
capable of
but-
doing a backflip?
Yeah, I'm capable of doing a backflip, but I'm not gonna do it on any hard surfaces. I'm gonna do
You
it.
learn
with,
something
like,
new every day.
Are you capable of surviving a backflip?
Yes, but it's not a very impressive backflip. It's like, I don't know. It's like, point is and stuff. It's not gonna happen either way because Sans is not ending up in Smash Ultimate. It's
I
never gonna
wouldn't.
happen.
I wouldn't bet on that.
I have my doubts.
Having your doubts is the difference between backflip and a not backflip.
Mhm.
Well, like, well, I was gonna say, like, it doesn't count if he ends up as an assist trophy, but like, he's not gonna end up as an assist trophy. I don't know. I'm kind of scared now. I'm wondering, what do you think, Sal? Do you think I'm gonna have to do a backflip, or am I gonna be safe?
The
Lethality,
silence says it all.
Sally, are you dead?
I wish.
What do you think, Sally? Will I have to do a backflip, or will I not?
Will you need to do a backflip, or will you not?
Yeah. Well, the question is, or I can rephrase it. Do you think Sans will be a Smash DLC character, or will he not be?
I swear to God, if I say yes, he'll be a Smash character, I better not have to upload a video of me doing a backflip.
You won't have-
Yeah.
Because I
That one-
refuse to show anything of my personality other than my voice on the internet.
Why do you refuse to show your face? Show you have a sexy face.
Because then people can actually identify me.
Yeah.
But people already can identify you by your avatar.
Yeah, but my avatar looks nothing like me.
Fair enough.
For one
Oh,
thing,
yeah.
my avatar doesn't have any facial hair.
Oh, by the way, you know that Twitter account, Lethality, Unusual Videos, where you found that video?
Yeah.
I found another great video. I'm gonna post it in the general chat. I found this a while ago, but then forgot about it. What do you guys think of this video?
Everybody's in the place, and don't you know, it's a beautiful new day. Hey!
Oh no. Stop. Stop. Stop.
DolphinVi, have you seen the video?
I've seen this video before.
I have to.
I think it's like I really love this little video. It's like one of the best stories using just still images.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very compelling and great story. Have you seen it, Sharky?
No.
Okay, look in the Discord right now.
Yeah, I just seen it.
Oh, you have? What do you think of it? It's a very compelling story, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Mr. Blue.
That's what you get for liking lollies, guys.
I don't. I despise them, and I despise people who like them. It's more of like, okay, look, I can understand that they're fake, but for how long?
Mhm.
As long as you want,
Well,
long as
I mean,
penis-
Okay, don't say it like that.
but-
technically, lollies will always be fake because they're
No,
You
I
know,
mean
they
for
ain't
them.
built.
Like first, it starts with lollies, and then next thing you know, they want the real thing.
well,
Mm.
I think lollies.
that's like drawing the same conclusion as you see violence in video games and then you want it in real life.
Yeah.
Really is.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean that's not a possibility.
Yeah, but I mean,
Probably
when-
unlikely.
Possible,
we-
but not unlikely.
It's
That's my
more
point.
like the reverse. It's like when
can
they
do-
are that, then they go to the video games.
Yeah.
I don't think it's any of the video games bringing them over to that. It's whenever they're already into that, then some of them come into video games.
So what you're telling me is that pedophiles get into lolly.
Mhm.
What I think is
Actually, I think that's probably a better conclusion.
what I
Better
think
than
is-
my
Well,
outcome.
Well, the way I would say it is, okay, if someone is a pedophile, they know it. I'd rather they be doing it with lolly porn than actual kids.
Yeah.
So give them a safe outlet
Yeah.
at least.
My thought process
Fair
is
enough.
I think lollies are cute in the same way that puppies or little kittens are cute.
I knew you were a pedophile.
I said that in the same way.
I knew it. Babaji.
I said in
Exposed.
the way that I said in the same way that little
Exposed. Next video. Papa G exposed.
Oh, wait. He said he's also into puppies and stuff.
Oh my
I
God,
said-
Kiro the
Oh,
wolf.
God.
I'm saying I think puppies and kittens are cute. I want to pet them, I want to hug them. They're nice and whatnot, but I don't want to fuck them. That's like
FBI, open up, Papa G. We know you're in there.
I don't want to fuck them. It's
Yeah, I know. You want to squish the little boobies.
lollies don't have boobies.
That's
They're
what a hug is. Don't lie to me.
The most appealing lollies are flat chested.
Is
So
that what
he-
you're into?
Think
I mean,
about
most
what you
I mean,
just
most
said,
kids
Papa
don't
G,
have
really carefully.
developed
I
brains.
said that perfectly. I said that so I would sound more perverted. That's part of the joke.
You're just like, man, I prefer them flat chested.
What I'm saying is stuff is if I don't want to fuck little girl. I think it's disgusting that people do want to fuck little girl.
Meanwhile, on Hentai Haven.
I think it's I really do.
Oh,
I
speaking of
think
which, rest in
gross.
peace.
Yeah.
Actually, never mind. It came back on Faku.
Mhm.
Oh,
They
yeah.
decided to merge, and I'm like, yes.
Yes.
Ugh.
It's like, may it rest in peace. Oh wait, you're back.
Mhm.
Our Lord and Savior has returned.
What is Faku again? By the way, were they
It's
like
a hentai porn website.
yeah, that's
That's
what I
They
right.
thought.
they primarily dealt in like comics or manga. Then
Hentai, pretty much. Manga.
yeah, you know that stuff that Digibro keeps in his closet
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah.
next to all the lolly.
Digibro doesn't keep that in his closet. He wears it outside and he wears it proudly.
Mm.
Well, at least that man got no shame. I can respect that.
Oh,
Like
he's also
some
bad
people.
Well, he's also
Yeah.
bad at
I
taking
think, was it
criticism,
even a
but
troll
that's
article
another-
that there's a teacher who wanted to punish a kid for wearing a shirt that says, I like hentai, but can't do it without admitting he knows what it is?
I don't know. I have no
Hmm.
idea.
No, but I can actually see that being real. I don't know if that was a joke tweet or not.
Because they call me senpai. Figure people are gonna like. I think y'all are gonna have me on here to talk about my Frankie video.
I haven't. I've
No,
only
I was
seen.
convinced you put a good argument.
How does one bleed from a vehicle that doesn't touch him?
Yeah.
Next, I honestly, I tried my best to provide a compelling counter argument without trying to be biased. But the fact of the matter is, I'm biased.
Mhm.
I like Frankie on PC, and when people accuse him of stuff, I'm immediately like, hold on a second. It's like the same with you guys. Like, let's say the next day, Sharky gets accused of, I don't know. Let me think of something horrible. Yeah, there. Thanks. Pedophilia. First thing I would be like is, all right, where's your evidence? Show me the evidence. Oh, look at that. It's flawed. How's it feel to be stupid?
Well, you're not gonna get shit on me because I have nothing to hide, basically.
That never
Oh,
say
Yeah,
that.
don't
Yeah.
lie. Don't you
Yeah.
lie, Papa G.
I
We
can-
know
I
it's in the
can
basement.
confidently say I have nothing to hide and stuff. I mean, I have shit to hide, but all the shit that I have to hide is so boring and so pathetic that if I were to tell you, to feel like that's it, that's what you have to hide.
Papa,
So what
the
you're telling me
moment
is that
you
we could
say
look-
you have nothing to hide. That's when I go, time's ticking. Just like Sky. It's only a matter of time before something comes out.
All right, Wall Street Journal. Let's see what we can find out on this guy.
You know me
Well-
well enough to know that I'm not a pedophile or a fuckboy or a dumbass.
Yeah, but-
As far as we can tell.
Well, the reason why PUBG has basically nothing to hide is because he's already just flat out told us that he's into puppies and kittens and lollies.
Kids.
They're all the same.
Kids.
I'm not into puppies or kittens. I'm into puppy people and kitten people. I'm a furry. Get
Oh,
it right.
oh dear.
Oh.
I'm not a furry. or
Hey,
a
look.
no.
To each their own, dude. But hey, I ain't gonna lie. Their art. Ah.
I'm a furry. Hope no one actually thinks I'm a fucking furry. If this starts to spread rumors about me, I'm blaming you guys.
No one can sit down and tell me that the furry art is not good.
It depends on which level of furry it is.
Yeah, fine. Okay, fine.
If you
I'll
okay,
give you
don't
that
go
one.
on. Don't how
It
about
is
that?
pretty
Don't
good.
go on E621. There, that kind of art. Don't go on there. Don't go on there. Don't you touch that website with a finger
Some
or
furry
your
art,
big fat dick.
some furry art is very impressive. Yeah.
Yeah, my problem is the people like Kiro the Wolf. That guy.
I think I very vaguely know of him.
Do you need me to link you a video by Mr. Medicare?
Was he the guy that can accuse the Dishonored Wolf of being a pedophile?
No, that's not. No.
Okay.
The only
If he was, you know what I do.
Yeah.
You know exactly what the hell I do.
Yeah.
His wolf, because the wolf was an inspiration to my channel, and it's like when people accuse Rags of being a racist. I'm like, oh, really? Show me the proof. Show me the proof.
Mhm.
Oh, look at that. You ain't got proof. How stupid.
Yeah.
The only thing that like furry wise that I can get into is the
Art.
furry like Hollow from what's that anime?
Spice and Wolf.
Yeah, Spice
Oh,
and Wolf.
Spice. Oh, yeah, that's a great anime.
If only it was
Yeah.
finished.
Still need to watch it.
Oh, it is finished
You know,
on Hentai Haven.
ears and tell basically is about all I can get into kind of thing. Like when they go like Sonic and all that other stuff or Pokemon, it's like no.
No.
Oh,
I hate
speaking of
Pokemon.
Sonic, what are you guys' thoughts on the Sonic poster? Sonic the Hedgehog movie poster.
Did Sonic get possessed by a demon? Because he.
I haven't seen it.
Well, there's Detective Pikachu levels of realism, which is okay. It's weird, but it's acceptable. Then there's that.
I haven't seen it.
There's
Somebody
Satan,
needs to give me
there's
an image.
Satan incarnate.
Oh man, if I can find it, yes, I can find it. There's this Twitter user by the name of Peach Saliva released some
Great name.
predictions, some predictions that she has for the Sonic movie. Can I read you some of the predictions, and can you guys decide how much on point you think it will be?
All right.
Okay.
All right.
So again, this is credited to the Twitter user Peach Saliva. Okay, so just so you
Remember
know,
that name, kids.
Yeah, remember the name,
Yep.
Peach Saliva.
In fact, put the Twitter channel in the general.
If you want, I'll send it. If you want, I'll send it. to you
Yeah.
so you
Oh,
can-
yeah. And in editing this video, be sure to put this up, editor.
All right.
Yes. I'll
Type
sure
it out on
edit-
screen, editor. You know,
I'll
because
sure-
the editor is we're not talking to the editor.
Okay, we'll send it. I'll send you her Twitter handle later. So,
And viewers, make sure you click on it.
Okay. Yeah, I will.
Make sure you click on it and examine all that furry porn.
Anyway, the film, she has a bunch of predictions. Here's the first one. The film will feature a human character in late high school / college, a track star at that, who will transform into a blue blur due to the Chaos Emeralds. Robotnik's introverted science shit gone wrong, or straight up a ring-laden chili dog. So do you think that's possible or not possible?
That absolutely sounds like something that Hollywood would do.
Yeah, it does.
Next one is if a titular character isn't named Miles, as in now to Tails, then his best friend will be. The character nickname will be Sonic because he's just so fast on the track team or whatever. He'll also have a girlfriend named either Amy or Sally, potentially Elise. Thumbs up or thumbs down?
It's actually sounding like something I'm willing to bet money that will happen.
Mhm.
I'm not going to bet money because that's stupid. And if you gamble, you're a degenerate fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it all
I'm
depends.
kidding. You're
on,
not. I'd be a hypocrite if I actually believe that.
I mean, it all depends on if they're going to go the route of like Michael Bay or they're going to go the route of the Netflix Death Note special.
Don't ever say that name again.
Or if they're going to go the route of a legitimate movie, But if they go either one of the first two, these are all sounding pretty legitimate.
My favorite part of the Death Note movie is when Light Turner literally wrote the last third of the movie into the Death Note.
Mhm.
That was really funny. I'm gonna read the next few in bunches because there's a whole bunch of them. So Robotnik is terrible and evil and super rich who tears up the environment due to corporate greed and performs needlessly torturous experiments on animals.
You know what? That sounds exactly like something
Mhm.
Hollywood would do,
Yeah.
considering their political leaning.
There'll be two robots, Grounder and Scratch, who will completely suck at being bad guys, get their asses handed to them in nearly every scene, but become good guys in the end.
Yep,
There
yep,
is-
that.
Why
If
even
there
do that at all? Just have 1, 2, 3 Omega in there.
If there isn't a scene in which Sonic, either as his potentially
Gotta go
human,
fast. Gotta
as,
go
it-
fast.
as his potentially human self or his monstrous hedgehog abomination body, tells a group of kids not to smoke or do drugs because it's no good, I will literally eat a hat.
Well,
Will it be a red hat, sir?
That's before.
I don't know. There'll absolutely and with no doubts whatsoever be a part where someone or a group mentions that Sonic can really move, has an attitude, and is also the fastest thing alive.
Yeah, there's no way that's
Going at the speed of sound.
The Amy character will at one point pick up a hammer, be it comically large or not, to use as a weapon in self-defense or as a tool. If Sally or alternatively Elise uses it, someone will sarcastically refer to them as a princess. Sonic will suggestively down an entire chili dog at once, and then wink at the audience. Tails will be made entirely.
That sounds. That's sorry to interrupt, but that sounds like a gay joke.
Yeah, it does.
It sounds more like a reference to Sonic Boom, more likely.
Just like, oh.
Well, they did that in the cartoon too.
I heard
No,
Sonic
the regular cartoon, the old cartoon.
Well, Sonic Boom, the TV show, is pretty good. The game was terrible.
Tails.
I haven't seen it.
The Sonic Boom, you can see that on YouTube. It's a pretty good movie.
Yeah, there's some
cartoon.
funny moments. Some
It's
pretty
just the
funny
game
moments.
sucks.
My favorite moments is like when they said like Hollywood really needs to think of new ideas or whatnot, and like they all remain silent. Anyway, moving on. Tails can be made entirely of tinfoil and the collective despair of everyone involved in making of this film.
I don't know about that one.
They call Tails Tails because of, oh my god, this is the best one. They call Tails Tails because of the many butt plugs he can shove in there and refuses to take them out because he believes them to help him.
Okay,
Why?
I don't think that's
Tails
gonna
is
be a
also-
thing.
This is going a bit far here, even for
Tails
this.
is
Yeah.
also- Tails is also-
Seems more like edgy humor rather than a prediction.
Tails is also a drug addict. Neither Knuckles or
He was
Shadow.
also born during the Holocaust. How about that?
Yeah. Neither Knuckles or Shadow will appear or even be referenced at all in this film because that would only make me happy, and we all can't have that now, can we?
Oh, they would probably reference it at the end of the credits, just to talk to you.
Oh yeah, they'll pull a Marvel.
Yeah. The whole post-credit scene where it's like, I'm coming for you, Sonic.
Yeah, dude. And then there will never be a sequel with him in it because the movie will completely flop.
Then he goes like, "Better watch out, Sonic, cause I'm coming."
This one I'm betting many on. There'll be a point where Sonic has to do something involving handling fragile technology / nuclear power or thievery,
Better watch out, Sonic.
wherein he will don comically large white gloves, and we will all breathe a sigh of relief to be unburdened by the sight of his creepy paraphilic hands.
I would hope that one's true.
And
But
last
I
but
would
not
hope he
least-
has the gloves from the beginning.
Yeah. Last but not least, Sonic's new realistic shoes will be given to him by someone, and he won't know how to tie them because he's not used to the laces, or he will suddenly have two horrible beady little eyes, and the sudden change in his depth perception is fucked.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry about that. I'm loading my gun right now.
I can totally see most of the shit happening in the Sonic movie.
Absolutely, without a doubt. By the way, I just bought Sonic Mania, so
I have Sonic Mania.
while we're talking about Sonic, I'm like, you know what? I might as well just play Sonic Mania while we're doing this.
Sad news is he's not going to be in high school or whatnot, because if I understand, the premise is that some small town sheriff or whatnot is teaming up with Sonic against evil Dr. Robotnik, who's played by Jim Carrey. I'm not fucking with you. Dr. Robotnik is being played by Jim Carrey.
Oh god, why?
I'm sorry. I'm loading my shotgun now.
It's nothing sacred anymore. It's nothing sacred.
I love
There's
Jim
nothing
Carrey, but
safe.
that's an absolutely horrible choice.
No.
I can see Jim Carrey doing it.
No.
Name the last time he played as a good. Name the last time he played a good villain.
Series of unfortunate events. Trying to help you out here, Papa G.
The live action Grinch? No, that was a shitty movie.
Okay, I'm trying to help you out here, Papa G. A series of unfortunate events. That might have been a good one.
I guess so.
He wasn't really a villain.
Well, I guess the Riddler from Batman Forever. But then again, never mind. Forget I said that. I'm sorry. Hang on. I'm loading my AK now.
When the Sonic movie comes out, all 4 of us have to go see it.
I will not see it unless you were there with me, and we're gonna drink booze until we die.
Okay, I'll come down to Canada and visit you, and we'll both go together.
Wait, you're
I'm not
going
telling you.
down to Canada?
Yeah,
Where are you at, in Alaska?
Down to Canada? Are you high right now?
I'm coming. I don't care down, up, left, right. I'm coming to join with you, and 2 of us are gonna see.
Please
the
don't ever say you're coming. Ever again.
Yeah.
Point is, like, we should all go see the Sonic movie, and we should then all come on this podcast and review it. Would that not be amazing?
I'm sorry,
That
who
was
are we
probably
coming
the
on?
most negative podcast ever.
I'm
Or the one where we're so drunk and in such a drunken stupor that the podcast never actually happens. And we just, it's like I'm recording and then we're like, in such a drunken stupor and saying all kinds of crazy stuff. And then like the next day it's like, nothing got recorded.
Yeah.
I mean, something was recorded. It's just not what we wanted.
No.
I really hope the Sonic movie is bad and not just mediocre, because otherwise it'll be just boring and whatnot. There's no
Hopefully
way.
it'd be good, but if that chance.
If it's good, then great. But let's be honest, no one's.
Remember the
expecting it to be
last
good.
thing someone made that was good?
What was that?
Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. The same animation studio that brought us the Emoji Movie, granted us the greatest gift of all, Spider-Man, the Into the Spider-Verse. How did the studio that make something that good? What is this? What world am I living in?
Well, to be fair, some of the writers that were involved in the Lego movie.
Oh, that explains it.
Speaking of which, I'm planning on seeing that movie New Year's Eve with my buddy.
In the second Lego movie.
Remember the Seth Rogen movie? Neither do I.
So, what?
Also, what Seth Rogen movie?
Wait, what? No, I didn't say Seth Rogen. What are you talking about?
I don't know. What are you talking about?
I don't know.
Who are you? Who are we?
That's a good question.
We are Venom.
Yes, you're Venom. We are Venom.
We are Venom.
So, overall, what was your thoughts on Into the Spider-Verse? Lethality?
I'm sorry. I'm loading my rocket now.
What?
Rocket launchers.
Okay. What is your
I want to make sure I never feel this pain again.
What pain?
Everything.
Okay. So, what was your overall...
Hollywood is taking everything and just shoving it down my throat.
What are your thoughts on Into the Spider-Verse?
I'm sorry, what?
What are your thoughts on the new Spider-Man movie?
It's great.
Good to hear. I plan on...
I'm a Spider-Man 2 purist, and it's like, ha.
It made
It's
you have an
amazing.
orgasm?
It's awesome. And no. Although I will spoil, Spider-Man dies at the end. No, he doesn't.
No, I knew. I knew that. He dies near the beginning.
I'm sorry.
Don't talk to me or my son ever again.
And then everything breaks.
Is there someone in the background who, in your place?
That is my brother.
Yeah.
Okay, I want to make sure I wasn't hallucinating or anything.
You're
No,
hallucinating sounds.
Just take some more. Just smoke a little more. Smoke a little bit more.
I plan on seeing Into the Spider-Verse on New Year's Eve with a buddy, so it should be fun.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. I'll just stay away from movies though with Hollywood screwing everything up.
But that,
Spider-Man is good.
I know. I'll probably see that, and after that, stick with Yakuza 0.
I got to hit on a note
Right,
that DolphinVi brought up earlier, and that's the new Pokemon movie.
Okay, what about it?
What do you guys think about it?
It has potential.
Yeah. I mean, in terms
Like-
of making cartoon characters look realistic, okay, it's a bit weird, but I can live with it. It's not, it's not as bad as the Sonic thing.
Yeah. The Sonic thing is just what the fuck are they thinking?
Although with Detective Pikachu, I swear, if he starts eating a chimichanga and winks at the camera, I'm gonna punch someone.
If he starts eating that chimichanga seductively, that's when I'm gonna be like, okay. Calm down, Deadpool. What are you doing in this movie? Get out.
See, with me, like I first seen it, I was like, oh my god, they're going to wreck our childhood again. And I seen the images of the characters. I was like, oh my god, this is going to be a train wreck. And then I watched the trailer. I was like, this could actually be pretty good. And then I watched it again and again and again. I was like, I haven't been to the movie theater in a lot of years, and I think I'm going to go see this in the theater.
I generally see a movie at least a couple times a year, just because I'm either dragged to it, or there's at least one or two things that I'm interested in each year. So I probably out of the four of us, I think I see the most movies.
Probably.
Also, speaking of Pikachu and Deadpool, I found an image of Deadpool Pikachu that I left in general. So if you guys want to look at that.
Pikapool?
Yeah.
Pika, motherfucker. Pika.
Mm-hmm.
There's apparently a Pika Captain America too. Pikachu Captain America.
No! I'll have to look that up.
It's right underneath that link that you just put. You just scroll down just a hair. It's right there.
Oh, I totally missed it.
There you go. Here's the actual picture.
Thank you. You see it happening.
And here's the actual image for the Captain America one.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's good. It's good Pikachu.
Captain Pikachu.
Oh god. What rabbit hole have we been gone down? Look at this one. This is a different kind of Pikachu Deadpool.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god!
Oh,
wow!
Lord.
Oh my god.
That is impressive.
It's happening.
Oh, no.
I don't know what is better, the Goblin Slayer cosplay or this cosplay. Both are very, very special.
I haven't seen this cosplay you're talking about on Goblin Slayer.
Yeah, there was this. I can't remember where the image is, but there was this image of this cosplayer dressed up as the Goblin Slayer, and it was like super good and like
Yeah.
really
I think it was ages ago I sent him that one. That's true. See if I can find it.
Yeah.
I know if I can find it, I'll post it.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. I don't know. I can't remember where.
Oh,
Editor, you're going to have to edit in these images into the video, right?
yeah.
Sorry, DolphinVi. We're making your job harder.
I don't have much to do Christmas Eve anyway.
Now here's the. What was I thinking? I don't remember what I was gonna say. I forgot.
Mm-hmm. Well, we were talking about Detective Pikachu.
Yeah, then we got onto Pikapool, Captain Pikachu, Deadpool Pikachu, and Raichu.
Dead Chew.
Dead Chew. Not what I said.
This is off topic, but what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, speaking since Spider-Man is in the, you think about it, Spider-Man. It's been a pretty good year for Spider-Man. There's been the Spider-Man game. There's been Spider-Verse, and like I said, it's been entirely a good year for Spider-Man since he died this year. So that kind of sucks for Spider-Man.
Stan Lee, may you rest in peace.
Mm-hmm.
Stan Lee.
The last time I saw you in a movie, man, was in Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Man, may you rest in peace.
That was a pretty good cameo into Spider-Verse.
Yeah, I knew him personally.
You did? Oh, you're referencing that scene. Oh, I see.
It won't be the last time you see him in a movie.
Mm-hmm.
Because they've already pre-recorded like I think 3 or 4 more cameos. So they're most likely going to use those. I would assume they're going to use them.
They just do like what they do with Harkin in Rogue One.
Oh yeah, that'd be creepy. That'd be really freaking creepy.
It's like, stop wearing his face.
No, this was actually legitimate. They pre-recorded it because from what I hear is Stan Lee really liked doing the cameo, so like he did them well in advance, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So, he probably wants them in there, in the future ones, even though he's dead, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Although,
for a while,
like I respect his wishes and everything, but it just feels like the studios are going to use his try to take advantage of it, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he loves what he created.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he does. I know there's probably going to be all kinds of drama about that when that happens.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting.
Mm.
We'll have to wait and see what happens involving that. I did spoil myself on one thing involving Into the Spider-Verse, and that was his cameo in that movie, and it was kind of fitting. It was surprisingly fitting considering it was more fitting considering the fact that he died and whatnot, and it was like kind of weird. You know what I mean, Lethality?
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah, we're gonna miss you, Stan.
Yeah.
You
Created my favorite hero, Spider-Man, and I saw him die in Spider-Man Homecoming.
Yeah.
No, not Homecoming. I mean, Civil War. No, Infinity War.
Yeah.
Some war.
The kid in me died that moment. I saw that and I was like, no.
He's probably gonna come back. Let's be honest, though. He's gonna come back.
Well, yeah, they're not gonna kill off a monetization like that.
Mm-hmm.
Still doesn't lessen the effect of what just happened. Traumatized all those children.
Yeah, I can only feel bad. I feel bad for all the kids who probably walked out bawling.
Yeah, Spider-Man died.
Yeah.
I do remember everyone in that theater rose up and started applauding.
Jeez.
It was my friend was actually kind of crying, not super crying, but like was at least tearing up a little bit and whatnot. And like he was like, I know,
Man, you make
like,
songs a little mother idea.
and like my friend then immediately got really angry at Star-Lord and blamed him for everything. Like it's all Star-Lord's fault. Fuck him. Which it kind of was when you.
I mean,
think
yeah,
about
screw him.
And it kind of was Star-Lord's fault when you think about it.
All he had to do was not punch him.
All he had to do, but he did punch him, and because of him, the universe got snapped into half.
Peter.
And now all we're left with is Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
Was Captain Marvel any good?
Well, it hasn't
It
come out
has
yet.
not out yet.
There's not.
I
some
meant
good songs.
in the movie, in that movie, not the Captain Marvel movie.
She hasn't appeared yet.
She
The
hasn't
Captain Marvel
appeared.
movie is her debut into the cinematic
Oh,
universe.
I'm on it. I am on it.
Sorry,
Yeah,
my
that guy's
brother's
on
like
it.
gets really loud when he gets aggravated.
Yeah, see, your brother agrees. He agrees. Like he's on
Trying
board
to
with
get everyone,
Captain
but
Marvel.
every one of our allies kept running. Left.
He clearly agrees.
Mm.
Apparently, apparently what happened in Infinity War has an official name now. It's apparently called the Decimation, which is alright, but I would have personally preferred the Snapping or the Snapster. Like personally, I felt like those had been more appropriate, but
Nope.
the Decimation is fine, I guess.
It's fine. If you're a wuss, oh!
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
So, Lisaldi, do you think Thanos was right? Like, did Thanos do
No!
nothing
Why
wrong?
would you? What makes you think I think he'd be right?
I don't know. There's a whole subreddit called r/Thanos did nothing wrong.
Oh.
He killed Spider-Man.
Yeah, but like it was to save the rest of the universe. Even
From
though
what?
He killed Spider-Man.
here's a question I really hope Avengers Endgame answers. Why couldn't a Thanos just double all the resources in the galaxy?
Don't ask questions that you know he can't answer.
It'd be funny if someone asked that and then he just like snaps them and turns them to dust. Like, shut up.
Do, 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 do.
Down.
I love the Thanos memes.
Mhm.
I love the subreddit artist. I love the subreddit Thanos did nothing wrong.
He killed Spider-Man.
He killed Spider-Man.
Rip Spider-Man.
And that was the biggest mess up.
He did, but he also killed
No.
who else did he kill?
I'm swapping Becky.
I don't care. Spider-Man died.
Yeah, fair enough. He probably killed some of the people who worked on Battlefield 5.
Well, not enough, clearly.
I'm out of ideas. What else should we talk about as we end here?
Well, there's a lot of something to talk about.
Oh.
That's the Iron Pikachu.
Iron Chew.
Yeah.
Or Pika Man.
Yep, he doesn't need a power source. He is the power source.
Yeah.
Pikachu is Whiplash. They could have done that one.
Yeah.
They probably have.
Yeah.
Somewhere.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. This is a weird image. Here's
Yeah.
another image. Here's a weird image I found. Yeah, here we go. Take a look at that eye candy.
Oh, God.
Oh, yeah. It's Obama.
And Trump.
Yo, Trump doesn't exactly go together, but Yo Obama is great.
It's good. Your boy Obama here. Coming at you with the double upload. You know what I'm saying? Yeet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Do, 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 do,
Is that the map?
do,
Trying to think. Oh yeah, Lethality, did you see YouTube Rewind?
I was actually going to do a video on it.
This
Oh.
fire.
I'm looking forward to it.
My problem was that every time I tried to download it, it would only play the audio of it.
I'm sorry.
Well, every time I try to,
My god.
it's almost as if YouTube is purposefully preventing me or other people from downloading it.
Oh.
Maybe. What are your thoughts on it? It's a 10 out of 10. Am I right?
Oh, he said
Absolutely atrocious. I don't even know why they thought it was a good idea to upload it.
I think I could
I thought
probably get a copy of it. Maybe.
I thought it was
How do I?
awful, but I
how
thought
do I-
2015 was worse.
What?
If you want to do a video of it, then Lethati, I'll give it to you.
All right.
Oh.
Anyway,
That's one of the reasons I did the Frankie videos, because I was just like, you know what? I'm just I can't do this YouTube rewind video because of reasons. So
Anyway, what was I gonna say? Should we end the podcast here for the night, or do you guys want to keep going?
Do we have anything else we're supposed to talk about?
if we don't have anything else, I think we're done here.
Okay, well, Merry Christmas to everyone who is watching this. It's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's probably our longest podcast we've ever done yet.
Yeah, probably. Anyway, hope you guys have all a great night. Really happy, a very Merry Christmas. And remember, Thanos did nothing wrong except for killing.
I will shoot you.
Yeah.
Except for killing Spider-Man. Except for killing Spider-Man.
No.
And Papa G is a Kingdom Hearts Philistine into bestiality and into lollies.
One is not simply not into lollies.
Thanos is misunderstood. He's the real hero of Infinity War.
Hashtag Thanos did nothing wrong, just like Hitler.
Yes. Anyway, I'm kidding. He only did something.
You're not kidding. Don't lie.
No, I'm kidding. Thanos only did a few things wrong.
You know exactly
Instead of
what you did
snapping
wrong.
half the galaxy, he should have snapped everyone in the galaxy.
Hey, can you get that Thanos dick out of your mouth, Papa G?
I'm trying, but it's glued in there.
You're just like, oh.
Anyway, I'll hail our Lord and Savior Thanos, and he's definitely not right next to me holding a gun to my head, making
Thanos just has his finger, has the Infinity Gauntlet
finger
just
on the
pointed
trigger.
at your head.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Fade
finger.
Fade Papa G. That
Yeah,
does
his finger's
Thanos.
ready to snap, and you're just like, oh no, 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 no.
Okay, it's gone. Thanos did everything wrong. We must stop him. Anyway, good night, everyone. Have a Merry Christmas.
Night.
Good night.
Merry Christmas.